Access to the Monte Zone will be granted shortly. Please stand by. Access to the Monte Zone will be granted shortly. Please stand by. Access to the Monte Zone will be granted shortly. Please stand by.
Good evening, everyone. It's Friday. It's 8 o'clock. It's the TNG. No, it's not the TNG review show. It's the Monte Zone.
It's the Monte Zone.
Yeah.
The finale.
The finale. Right.
Yeah, geez. What are you like?
I can't help myself sometimes.
We're gonna cover some of your blurbs in a minute.
It's because I've been watching all the intros and how I just mess them up every time, and I just couldn't help myself, you know.
To celebrate, you had to just do it one more time for the finale.
That's right. Yeah. Oh dear.
Evening, everybody.
Good evening. Good
Let us know
evening.
you're in chat, and yeah, like the video if you wouldn't mind,
Oh, that's a good point.
and do that usual subscribe if you've not subscribed, but I'm sure most of you have.
Good evening to Daniel Godwin, who we got on this evening, and Becky. Good evening to you guys. I hope you're having a lovely evening, and I hope you've had a lovely day in the sunshine. It's been a lovely day out there today.
It certainly has.
Yeah.
Evening, Smiler, my little sis. Yeah, I'm fine, thank you very much.
G just said hi
Nice.
to you. She can't hear you because she stood next to me. She's here because she's waiting patiently because it's the finale of season 1. I've got a bottle of bubbly. I've got a bottle of
Nice.
Prosecco, and I'm going to pop it live on stream. So this could go terribly wrong.
I'll pop my bottle of Coke at the same time.
This seemed like a good idea about 5 minutes ago when I come up with it, you know. But now I can't get the plastic stuff off. It's seeming like not such a good idea. Here we go. I got it. So I'm just taking the plastic off. I've made a bit of a hash of that. There we go. Take the cage off. This is where I get a cork through the monitor and Prosecco all over my keyboard. And,
See, it's funny because if I'd known about this beforehand, what I could have done is got a bottle of a glass of bubbly ready behind the screen, and then you could have poured one of that and passed it to me, and I could have gone, "Oh, yeah. There you go."
Right, here we go.
And we could have done a little clever visual thing there.
It's going. Okay, come on.
Here we go. Season 1 finale.
I missed Smiler, so that was it. Nearly got her. But yeah. So here you go. Here's a glass.
Evening,
of
Mickey. Welcome along.
There you go, Smiler.
Oh, and hi, Dbot.
Cheers.
Not quite. There you go.
Thank you, everyone, for coming along for the season 1 finale.
Yeah. So yeah, we're having a bit of a celebration tonight. There you go. Have some more.
Shall I start explaining why we're having a season 1 finale?
There you go.
Thank you
Yes,
very
go
much.
for it.
There you go. Cheers,
Okay.
Cheers.
Cheers. There you go. Clink, clink.
Clink clink.
Here's to us. Yay.
Yay.
Yeah, so we're doing this finale episode this evening because Monty had a really good idea to cover what's been put in the vault so far from G-Star's vault. So that's what originally we were going to do this evening. But then we thought, well, actually, we both got like family holidays coming up over the next sort of 4-week period. So we're going to likely be taking a bit of a break for 4 weeks. And then because we were going to discuss some of the G-Star vault and anything that's gone into the vault, it just seemed like a really good idea and opportunity to discuss what we've done with season 1 of the Monte Zone so far and where we've come from, like where we started and where we are now, and talk about some of the stuff that we may possibly have coming up in season 2.
Yeah, fantastic. And even though we just discussed this off air, it just strikes me, why don't we ask chat, right? So we're thinking, we didn't plan on talking about this on stream, but I've just decided to anyway. Sorry, G.
That's all right. Go ahead.
We're thinking about moving the TNG review off into its own channel on YouTube as a separate channel, and having this channel as purely the Monte Zone channel.
Accompanied by G-Star Vault.
Yes, the Monte Zone and G-Star Vault channel, or a paranormal channel. Can you let us know in the chat what you think about that? Do you think that would be a good idea or a bad idea, or you know, would you mind subscribing to more of our channels if we decide to split it up, or do you think it's better all in one place? Let us know, because we're thinking about doing that for season 2 onwards. So yeah, let us know what you think. So where are we starting then on our voyage this evening into a reminisce of the last sort of 10, 11
Well,
months?
let's tell everybody what we've got coming up first and foremost. So we've got, to celebrate our finale this evening, we have interviews from some of our avid viewers and subscribers that have been happy to come on camera with me and talk about what they love about the Monte Zone, what are their favorite episodes, what they'd like to see us do in the future. So we've got interviews with them coming up. We've got guests coming on the show tonight. So around about 8:30, he's in chat right now, but we've got Dan coming on to have a bit of a chat where he's been a guest on the show before, and he's got an interesting photo to share with us. So that should be cool. And we've also got possibly Maz coming on, who was a guest for our AI episode, and she also joins us on the TNG review on this channel. So she may be likely coming on for a chat as well. And then we've got an interview with Ben that I filmed earlier on in the week from 401 Files. And he's talking to us about what he's doing right now and things that have been going on with him, and also giving his points of view on the Monte Zone. So we have got lots of content to go through tonight. But your original question, Monty, was where are we going to start?
Yeah, where are we starting this evening?
Off air, we were just showing each other because Monty's prepared some videos and I've prepared some videos, and two of them are very similar, but I think that I really like the way Monty goes through his. But I'm going to play mine first, which is just really short, and then we'll pass over to Monty to go through the videos that he pulled together, which are very cool. Let me just find this video. I'm struggling to find it. There it is. Should hopefully be coming through now. Hi everyone, what's up?
How the devil are you?
I'm good. Well, you know, I've just had a beautiful steak pie.
From Marks and Spencer's, no less. Wow, look at us.
Oh no, I was about to say taste the difference, but that's Sainsbury's. And my lovely echo.
Yeah, it's because you're in the same room. And it's thought... No, I'm kidding.
I was going to say, this is just like, you know, no.
Oh, that was the Nokia. Have I convinced him?
Trying to convince me. It's everything that we just... This is our very first episode.
Yeah. And mine it.
And this is where we are now,
offer
sort of thing.
services
This is
to the United
one of our recent
States
episodes.
or other countries that are interested to have a it's a bit different, isn't it? To Mars or anywhere else, get twisted. We have improved from one end of the corridor to the other because you can see the ship twisting in the sea.
Gosh. Not for me.
Yeah. There you go. Yes, thank you, Dan. Yeah, that was just the original logo. I feel nostalgic hearing that music now.
But as I said to you, I always get bumps when I see part of what our opening titles now.
Access to the Monte Zone will be granted shortly. Please stand by.
Our production value has gone up over the last 10 months, hasn't it?
Certainly has. I just love that music with the Patty image.
It's good, isn't it?
And then when it goes on to this, it sends shivers.
I will do a version 2 of that at some point, hopefully over the summer for season 2. So we'll have a re-rendered version for the next season.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
You got to try to just improve all the time, haven't you? Like trying to get the intros right. It's like saying you're in the right show would be a good start, Monty.
It's just, you know, the other thing that I wanted to say, which I haven't really I don't think a great deal about, but as I've been preparing all the clips for both the Monte Zone and the G-Star Vault for this evening, I'm just really kind of quite proud of the fact that, you know, most of the music that I use, certainly on G-Star Vault, and then for those opening titles, is my music. And so it's like another little thing that I do in terms of making music. And I don't know if I've actually mentioned that before, but yeah, I'm super proud of it. But I just love that bit where it's like Patty, the Bigfoot, and just the choir and how it kicks in. It just always sends shivers.
Yeah. But no, I have to say you did a fantastic job on that piece of music for the intro. It just fits with the show perfectly, I think. You've got to do a sort of homage to TNG for our TNG review and give it. We'll put together a proper
give it
TNG review intro.
And if there's any of our viewers that are watching that are doing their own thing on YouTube and never want copyright music, just get in touch, let me know. I'm always happy to help.
Yeah. Yep. Same with video editing.
I think you should share your
Sorry.
I think you should share your videos.
Yeah, so yes. What did I do?
So I liked the way you told the journey where we started.
Yep, bear with me a sec. I just got to. Oh no, that's the wrong thing. Yeah, you can see we're a slick operation now.
Yeah, definitely. Everything just happens like a click of a button.
It's right.
What we need is a producer.
Yeah, true story. Yeah. Oh, there we go.
Somebody does all the clicking of the buttons.
Yeah. Okay, so this is in a similar vein. Right, hopefully we're there. So in a similar vein, it's a little bit of a look back at some of the intros and how things have changed. Yeah, anyway, here we go. So we start off with episode 1. So it's saying we got the just the logo as our intro with this piece of music that I got from a free music database. I think it's from
Good
YouTube.
evening, everybody, and welcome to the Monte Zone.
I forgot to switch the music off when I did my intro, so I cocked the intro up in the first episode. So it's
there
kind
we
of
go.
start off as you mean to go on.
Hopefully, we are live.
You've proven tonight
We're
that you're
online.
definitely going
We're
on with
YouTube.
So this is my original background
So
here.
welcome to the Monte Zone.
This is the
This
original
is gonna
look of the
be
studio.
hopefully a monthly, if we can arrange the time
I
between
mean,
our busy schedules.
I haven't got my
to-
look
to
down
get
with the
together
black
to
t-shirt and that yet,
discuss,
have I?
Some interesting things that we find in the world of
a very
the
mustard
weird,
t-shirt.
It
It
is.
sort of matches the
Paranormal.
wallpaper
I know, it's-
perfectly behind.
I was
or
not
if
thinking
we
that through, was
decide
I
that we're
really?
actually going to
But you're actually next to me in the kitchen,
actually talk about
so
Star Trek, if we can-
when
if
you
our
talk in a
relationship
minute,
as
you'll
friendship
hear
will survive
an echo
lapse,
coming through.
in a stream. We might talk about that at some point.
Really?
But I'm joined tonight by my co-host.
The very first words you
G-Star.
say on the
Good
show.
evening, G-Star.
Good evening. Hi, everyone. What's up?
How the devil are you?
I'm good.
So,
I've just
yeah.
had a beautiful steak.
Also, I
pie.
used a different widget for the chat, so the
Marks
chat
and
window
Spencer's, no
looks all
less.
weird as well.
Yeah.
It's very strange looking.
It surprised me when I was watching back just how dated it looks. Like, it feels
Good
it's
evening
like 5
and welcome,
years ago.
everybody.
Yeah.
And welcome to another Monte Zone.
Again, still with the logo as intro. But I've got my
here we
shelves
are.
now, so it's starting to look.
Good evening,
The
Mr.
composition of
G-Star.
it, of my studio, is now looking right. You're still,
Starting to
Hi,
get some
YouTubers.
blue light going on.
yeah. I like the way you said YouTubers.
I'm still in the kitchen going YouTubers.
That's right. Oh, Becky
Good
says
evening,
down's
everyone.
a good button pusher.
And
So,
welcome to the Monte Zone for November.
sorry for blasting you
evening,
there, but there was
and
always something wrong with my old
welcome
mic, and every now and again it would
I am
just go
Montevan, and I'm
massive in the right
joined
channel.
this
Don't
evening
know
by
why.
my co-host G-Star. How you doing, G-Star?
Look at the quality of your output there.
I know
I am well.
what is going on.
But
I'm like,
hang on, let me just go back on that one a minute. So
looks like I'm sitting in some sort of shelter in Beirut, isn't it?
yeah, well, I just stopped it here because now the chat window looks right, and I've started putting some acoustic treatment on the walls. It's the sort of first iteration of the acoustic treatment there, so it's starting to take shape.
How are you?
I am well.
And then we move on to So now we start actually
bad signal.
putting some pictures in with the intro and naming
Good evening,
the
everyone.
episodes to give it sort of like make it more
It's
cohesive.
Friday night. It's just gone past 9 o'clock, and it's the Monte Zone.
We used to do them at
with
9
me,
as well.
Monteban,
Forgot
and
Yeah.
my co-host.
I also bought
G-Star.
StreamYard,
Yeah, G-Star,
so
which
now we can browse it and put in
Good evening, sir. How
backgrounds
are
and
you?
things. So again, just to up the
Evening,
quality.
everyone. Evening, Monty Man.
Evening, Governor. Good evening. It's Friday night.
Yep,
And it's
so
time for the Monte Zone.
Still with the old
Me,
intro,
Monteban. And
but now
my
our
co-host,
studio looks like it
G-Star,
does now.
and our very special guest this week, Dan.
And this
And
was-
I now have moved to a bedroom
Good
full
evening,
of
chaps.
wallpaper.
Good evening.
This is the first episode with Dan.
Yeah, this was an important episode because where are we going? Because this is the first episode we have a guest, our very special guest,
Yeah.
Daniel Godwin, and this is the first time I met Dan, and you can tell when I introduce him, I couldn't remember his name. It was in my brain somewhere, and because we'd only just met just before this episode started, so you can tell as I'm saying his name, I'm like, where's his name?
And our very special guest this week, Daniel Godwin.
Oh, it came to
Good
me.
evening, chaps.
evening.
Daniel Godwin.
Yeah, he is a handsome chap, isn't he? Yeah.
Good
This
evening,
is
everybody.
Probably one of our favourite episodes.
It's
or
Friday
one of our
nights.
most
By
popular
far
episodes.
most popular.
It's Monte Zone time with me, Monteban, and some special guests.
Important
this
episode
evening.
because it's the first time we have like two guests. So
Good
it's
evening, gentlemen.
First time we put the screen. I leave everybody on mute, so
Yeah, well done.
nobody
Good
says
evening
hello.
to,
What's up with that?
G-Star. Hello, G-Star. You're still
So
muted.
I just can't get it
know,
right, can I?
that. Every time. It
Hello.
gets me every single time.
Still does. 6 months later. And this is the first episode. Episode 9 is the first episode. We have our new intro.
Access to the Monte Zone will be granted shortly. Please stand by.
Your favourite bit. I've included this bit because it's your favourite bit.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to
This is the
Monte
episode
Zone.
I turned into a raccoon.
With me,
Or no, a
Monty
red
Man.
panda.
believe it or not, my co-host Mazin with Bob and
We need the
my-
red panda back.
Yeah,
Let's
do a-
my
Let's
main
do a vote.
co-host,
We need the
G-Star.
red panda back.
Good evening,
Put in
everyone.
chat whether you want the red panda back.
I'm not
And
really
let
the
us know about the
co-host, I'm
channel,
just
what
a
you
guest.
what you want us to do
Yeah,
about the
I
channel.
thought I was doing the TNG review then for a
I
moment.
know.
I still do
I
that.
get-
Confusing. Same
It's
three people.
Friday. It's not Wednesday. You just said it.
You had you go like it's 8 p.m. It's
Good evening,
Friday.
everyone.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, am I a bit loud? Good evening. It's Friday night.
Actually,
It's 8
stop
o'clock.
it a minute.
All right, yep, sorry.
It's Monte Zone time.
As you go through it, I wouldn't have remembered that you. It's so common for you to make mistakes at the beginning of the show.
I always cock it up every episode.
It's quite hilarious.
Yeah, I know. I can't help myself. Yeah, I don't know. And then I leave a big blank.
Right, stop. Sorry, was I a bit loud for you there, G? I seem to have shocked you.
I'm still in the bedroom.
Yeah, you're also on mute. I've muted you.
Right, there we
I've
go.
actually
Right,
not
well,
turned
we're
the
here.
levels
We're
up,
on.
so
It's
I can
Monte
hear you
Zone.
in my head,
I'm
but
praying
nobody
for
else
good
can hear
internet
you,
connection this evening.
and I don't
Praying
realise.
to the,
And they start saying in
internet
chat,
gods.
"We can't hear anyone." I'm completely clueless. Welcome, G. How you doing?
I'm good. Sorry, I didn't realize that we were on.
We're on.
There was a big pause. Then I was like, "Oh, hello, hi everyone.
Hello.
Thanks for tuning in."
And is this the first one that I was in the cabin?
Yes, this is the first one you're in the cabin, and this is the first one I have my new mic. So there we go. That's a bit of a recap of our first year in the Monte Zone and
Well, it's not, it's, well,
how it's improved.
do you know the date of our first live stream?
I don't know. Is it beginning of November?
No, it was September 20th.
Was it really?
Or September 18th or September 20th, but it's not even been a full year yet.
No,
And
but with the
so
summer
we've-
break, it's going to be about a year, isn't it? Nearly.
Yeah, but I'm just
11
saying
months.
we've achieved all of
Yeah,
that, like
yeah.
you know, in a year. So I think it's a good start.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, and I agree with Smiler in chat. Like she's saying, all nostalgic. This week has been like, yeah, quite a nostalgic week, and certainly for me, like interviewing some of the guys and hearing them talk about the show, it's been great. So I can't wait to keep talking about it this evening and covering some of the G-Star votes. We're going to be having our guest, first guest coming on soon.
Sorry, I just realised I hid chat away. There you go.
Yeah. So hopefully Dan will be making his way on soon.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, Mickey joined watching the Monte Zone. I think the first live episode was the one where I was a red panda. He must have started watching this thinking, wow, this is a really weird show.
Yeah.
The host's an animal.
But just to let everybody know, a lot of the time when Monty does things like this, like literally you don't know until about 5 minutes before we go on air. Like as we come into the studio and get ready, you're like, what is going on? Why are you a red panda?
I know, I didn't tell anyone.
It really confused me because I can remember when you did that and I came into the studio first and you were just sat there and you didn't move. So it looked like it was a picture of a red panda sat in your chair.
Mm.
And I was like, and then you started moving and it freaked me out.
Brilliant.
But yeah, I again, chat haven't given us a vote, but yeah, I think we should vote for Red Panda to come back,
Yeah.
do an appearance in season 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'll be like a leprechaun or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Stan's got pre-show nerves and has gone to the bathroom before coming on. It's like a bit TMI, Dan. TMI.
I don't know if I should play while we're waiting for Dan to come on. I don't know whether I should play one of the G-Star Vaults. There's one that's about 13 minutes long.
Yep, go on then. Red Panda for the win. Yes, thanks.
And now I've got to try and remember which episode it was. It's 13 minutes long.
What are we watching?
Right, so I should give a bit of an explanation to everybody, really. So, as I mentioned earlier, Monty originally suggested doing an episode where we go into the vault from G-Star Vault. So then I had to look at the 8 episodes that I have uploaded so far and talk about, you know, which ones had been... sorry.
A new G-Star Vault.
Yeah, talk about which ones the viewers had said to put into the vault. So yeah, that was what I was to bring. So that ended up just out of interest, out of the 8 episodes, it ended up being 6. So there was 2 that didn't make it into the vault. One was the first one that I did on Mars, which was about the face on Mars, and the other one that didn't make it into the vault, I think, was the New Zealand UFO,
Right.
possibly. I think that was the other one. But anyway, rather than bring 6, because we weren't going to have time to talk about 6 of them on the show this evening, I chose 4.
Cool.
And this is one of them.
Right out.
But it's not the right one that I meant to choose, so I now need to...
Oh, it's all right. Dan's
remove it.
here.
Oh, is he?
Mm-hmm.
Excellent timing.
Excellent
So we'll do
timing.
that later.
There we go.
Hello.
Good evening, Dan. You all right?
Good evening. I'm very good, thank you. Yourself?
I am well. Yes.
Good, good. I've also updated as well.
Have you?
I'm not in my bedroom on a suitcase anymore. I am in my living room.
Oh, Very good.
Nice. Yes, I've liked some of your backdrops for some of the videos that you've been uploading again onto YouTube. So it's good to see you back on your channel and uploading content. And tell us about what you've been doing while you've been gone. Like, what's happening? Like all the good stuff.
Well, I've had twins. Well, I've not had twins. Becky's had twins, but yes, we've now got twins. Been a bit hectic.
Yeah, that would keep you
Yeah.
busy.
Yeah.
I had
Yes.
one, and that's kind of enough. But
Mm.
I can't imagine twins.
No, I've got 4 now. I've got a 11-year-old son, 2-year-old girl, and twins. So it's all good.
Yeah,
That's
that's
a full
a-
house,
that is
full
a-
hands.
Yeah.
full house. Yeah.
Mm.
Well, Dan,
Yes.
thank you so much for coming on and joining us this evening and taking time out to come and celebrate this season 1 finale with us.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor to be here.
Absolutely welcome.
Good
were you
evening
gonna say,
to
Monty?
Mazza McBob and Ludacris. They're in the chat. So good evening to you chaps for coming on and joining us this evening. Chris also likes the panda face. He thinks the panda face should come back as well. So yes, we'll have to think of a good reason.
What are your thoughts on the panda, Dan?
Yeah, it's got to come back.
Hey.
Panda's got to come back.
Maybe if we
So,
do it,
we've asked you to-
maybe if we do another cryptozoology show, maybe that would be a good one to bring a panda into.
Elusive
Speaking panda.
Monty Panda.
We should go out with Panda and see if people take photos of him and then upload it onto YouTube going, found some strange red panda in the middle of Plymouth.
Yeah. Oh, hello,
That'd be
Callum. Good evening
Wow,
to you,
lots
sir.
of people have joined in for the finale this evening.
Yeah,
It's great
I
to
think-
see everybody. As I said at the beginning of the show, don't forget to like the video if you haven't done so already. That'd be awesome. That's a big help. So Dan, we asked you to come on to join us and celebrate this finale because you've been part of season 1 as well. You've joined us, which I wasn't aware of this. If you'd asked me, I'd have said 2, but you've joined us for 3, haven't you?
I have indeed, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was for the UFOs, the Bigfoot, and the cryptozoology.
Yeah, so almost like a permanent chair and a permanent feature. So obviously I've been interviewing people this week that couldn't make it onto the live stream this evening, or were just too scared to come onto the live stream. But yeah, so I've been asking them, what's their favorite episodes. Do you want me to kind of ask you all that stuff now, or do you want to talk about your picture that you're going to ask us to talk about this evening first? Which way around would you like to do it?
Let's talk about the favorite episodes first, if you want.
Okay, fantastic. So, do you want to kick off a question, Monty?
No.
Okay.
Well,
okay, so
no. It's just you just threw me to the wolves there, didn't you? Didn't have anything prepared in my brain. Just off the top of your head.
I was just checking and making sure you're still awake.
I was listening to you guys.
No, I can kick it off if you want, or you can go.
No, go on.
Okay, so you were saying earlier that you were on 3 episodes with us this season. Other than those 3 episodes, was there a favorite that you had that you weren't a guest on the show? And then we'll ask you about which ones that you were on. Where's your fave?
I really enjoyed the conspiracy theory one. I really enjoyed that one.
That was
the missing
episode-
411 I enjoyed as well. Because I'm really into missing 411, so I enjoyed that one, even though you've done it over 2 episodes.
Yeah, that stream really fell apart, didn't it? My internet really fell apart on that one, so we had to sort of patch it together. Yeah.
I forgot about that.
I really enjoyed that episode because it was an opportunity to tell a story, which with the TNG review, I quite like. I quite like to sit and tell a story. So, I enjoy doing things like that. So, it was one of my favourites to do, I think. And it was just a shame, really, that the internet crapped out and kind of ruined it. But it was a good episode, I thought. We had a lot of good interaction. Mm.
Like I was saying to you about a week ago, though, it was for me, quite one of the ones where I felt most uncomfortable because of some of the content that we were talking about and just the end result of some of the stories. So it was kind of like making sure that we did it in a respectful way and made sure that we sort of did a disclaimer, but it just was not that kind of content that we're used to doing. It was a bit, so I found that tricky.
Yeah. In places it wasn't it? It was. We tried to end it on a more light-hearted story, so we didn't, pull up too much of a downer. But yeah.
What did we end it on? Was it the Malaysian flight?
Oh, it might have been.
I thought that's what we. That wasn't a happy ending.
Oh, we failed. We failed in that.
That was probably the worst of all.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a plane full of people.
Can I ask a question in chat? Callum, did I meet you in a car park last week? Random question. But I just suddenly thought
that sounds a bit wrong.
What were you doing in the car park?
Okay, viewers. Strange question.
Yeah, no, it's just.
Did I meet you in a car?
I was buying a ticket. I had a whole bunch of. I had Alex and his friends with me. I'd just taken them into town, and I was buying the ticket, leaving, and I couldn't remember Smiler's reg for a car, so I was like stuck at the machine, thinking, "Oh God, what the bloody hell's the reg?" And a chap comes over and goes, "Oh, well, Mark, hello," and of course we're all wearing masks. And at the time, I'm thinking, "Who's that?" And just seeing Callum's name in chat now, I'm thinking to myself, "Oh, I think that was Callum." That's how quick my brain works. So, anyway, it might not have been Callum, and I'm still none the wiser.
And also to chat, if you guys want to ask Dan a question about the show or us about the show, or let us know in chat what your favorite episode was or favorite part of the show, it's good to share.
Yeah.
So you mentioned the missing and also what was the first one? Conspiracy theories. But of the three then that you were on, which one did you enjoy most at that, and why?
That's a tough question. It'd probably be the Bigfoot one. Getting Ben on, because Ben's the reason I started my YouTube channel. So being able to introduce Ben to you guys and all getting on a live stream. Yeah, I think it was the Bigfoot one, but I did enjoy the UFO one and the cryptozoology one as well. But yeah, Bigfoot one's probably, Bigfoot. We'll go Bigfoot.
Okay. I mean, let's be honest, most people have gone for that one anyway, but there's been some nice surprises of other episodes that people have mentioned are their favorite and why. So cool. So that covers season one then. So in season two, is there anything that we haven't covered that you think we should?
I mean, when you messaged me the other day, you mentioned something that I think you should cover, and that's probably Skinwalker Ranch.
Yeah, you'll hear me later on in one of the interviews that I do mention that, because that's definitely something that we haven't covered yet. Which I don't actually. I'm going to be honest. I kind of know sort of what it's about, but I actually haven't delved into it at all. I know that there's cross lines between it being in the UFO phenomenon and then other kind of paranormal activity, but exactly what it's all about, I don't know. So, but I know of it because I see it come up on all of my feeds and videos and stuff, but I've just not watched any of it because I don't really want to enter into it until we maybe do it on a show and start doing the research.
Yeah, but that makes sense. Yeah, it's
Have you heard of
a
it,
meaty
Monty?
one.
No, no. Skinwalker?
Skinwalker Ranch?
Skinwalker Ranch? No, I've not. No.
Yeah.
I'm
Well, that'll
guessing
be
it's in
interesting
America.
then. Yeah. It's in California, isn't it, Dan?
No, it's in Utah.
Utah.
Oh, right. See, that's how much I know about it. Yeah, but there's some strange goings on, and there's lots of different theories as to why it's strange there. But yeah, it's sort of mixed in with the whole, is it alien activity? Is it spiritual activity? Is it, witches and different things? And yeah, so it'd be interesting to delve into that. Definitely.
It's on sacred Indian ground as well, so it could have something to do with the Native Americans.
Yeah, exactly.
The ground.
That's where the sort of spiritual sort of element of it comes in. But it does look interesting, but it looks like a kind of fairly, if we're going to delve into it, it's going to take quite a bit of looking into it. But that's where maybe we'll get you and hopefully Ben on for that one, and it'll help because you guys probably know a little bit more about it. So I won't have to, we won't have to do so much research.
I'm guessing that's where the name of it comes from. That Skinwalker Ranch. I guess there's a name from the Indian.
I think one of the phenomena that happens there is they see like shape shifting sort of wolves and stuff like that, and that's where Skinwalker comes from.
Right.
They call them the Skinwalkers.
Right. Oh, this will be interesting.
Yeah, it's covered on a lot of documentaries as well. It's been going on for quite a while.
The fella who is bringing all the UFO videos and footage out from the Pentagon, Jeremy Corbell, he's got a film out of it called Hunt of the Skinwalker, and that's on Amazon Prime, and that's worth a watch.
Yeah, Trailblazers just.
Oh, hello.
I don't know.
What's going on?
Yeah.
No. Please don't die on me, internet. Oh, there we go. Are we back?
You're back. I can hear you.
Oh, that's all right. I think we had a little blip there. I don't know what that was all about. Streamlabs has not said anything.
Oh, yeah. It's gone off on YouTube. It's coming back up now.
Yeah. Sorry, everyone. Slight glitch.
That's all right.
We started talking about something the algorithm was not too pleased about. That was your warning. That was your warning.
Yeah. So yeah, Monty, just before that happened and you dropped out, saying that Trailblazer put a good comment in chat about a guy that's covered the Skinwalker Ranch on his channel. So he could introduce us if we want to do something with him.
Yeah. All right.
So we could try having 5.
Yeah, I will talk to you about that Trailblazer maybe sometime next week. I will pop you I'll give you a shout.
Thank you.
Cool. That's very interesting. That's exciting.
So I haven't finished with the questions yet. So Dan, just one last one before we get to your picture. So as we go into season 2, is there a subject that we have covered that you'd like to see us come back and feature?
God, there's a few. UFOs, Bigfoot, conspiracy theories, cryptozoology, more missing 411.
Everything.
So everything.
Yeah, everything.
Okay, we'll just do a repeat of the. Or just go back and watch season 1 again.
Well, no, there's so much more. We've only touched.
1 on repeat.
We've only touched the surface on some of these subjects, haven't we? So we can take some specific examples and deep dive into them. And and I think that's what season 2 is going to be about. Really, it's going to be taking some of those things that we covered in season 1 and doing more research and getting deep into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There definitely, I think, will be some core repeats like the UFO subject, because there's so much going on with that anyway that we have to.
Yeah.
I think it was you, Monty, the other day saying we just have to keep on top of it, and then like Bigfoot. Now, just a bit of a spoiler. Oh, I hate the way I say that.
Spoiler.
Yeah, I picked that up on one of my recent videos that I did, and I was like taking the mick out of myself and going, "Oh, I sound really Pavlovian." Spoiler. Yeah, hopefully early next week I will be doing one more G-Star Vault before maybe I take a bit of a break on that as well, and that's going to be about Bigfoot.
Ooh.
Some new footage content that's come out that I would like to share with everybody and get their thoughts on. So watch out for that coming next week.
Excellent.
Nice. Okay, so thank you for sharing your thoughts with us, Dan, about our first season and the up and coming season 2. But more so, yeah, thank you for being part of it and part of that journey and being a guest on the show and helping us grow the channel, really, because it was all a big support and a big help. So you've brought a picture with you this evening to you wanted to discuss, because interestingly you featured this on your channel just recently,
and I got it wrong.
Yeah, you messaged me yesterday to say that in your analysis you got it wrong and that you wanted us guys to have a look at it. I don't know where the photographs come
I now know what it is, but I want to see if you guys can see what it is.
Okay.
I just want to get your thoughts and opinions.
This is interesting.
Oh, it's because I said share video. Sorry.
This was down South Devon somewhere.
Right.
This was national news.
While you're looking for the picture, Mickey asked, would the curse of Oak Island count as a topic? I don't know what that is, Mickey. But yes.
Is that the island in New York? There's an abandoned... I'm sure it's New York.
I don't
I could be completely wrong.
Okay. Let's go window. And then...
It's good to see someone else struggling over the buttons and getting the window right, and yeah. You're showing your Explorer window at the moment, is that right?
No, it's not right.
We can see Windows Explorer.
Okay. This is so much more difficult sharing pictures than it is sharing videos.
Oh, it's in Nova Scotia, so.
I'm not too sure of Oak Island then.
No,
that's not going to work.
No, that's Streamlabs. That's behind the scenes. There you go. That's what the studio looks like behind the scenes. I think you're showing every window you've got, apart from the one. See, it's not easy, is it? I make it look semi-difficult. No, but
right, surely it's showing this now.
No, it's still File Explorer. I'm still seeing File Explorer. Do you want to email it to me or something?
Yeah, let's do that.
I'll do it
because this is going to go on forever. Because I'm not even choosing my internet browser, so I don't know why it's showing it. So
anyway,
I'm coming through. Talk amongst yourselves.
What have you got planned for your channel then coming up, Daniel?
Well, I'm going to recommence the Bigfoot series.
Right.
Recently as well, I say recently, the past few months I've joined the BBR, which is the Being Believed Research Group. If you remember the woman, Debbie Hatswell, and her map, it's her group.
Right.
So hopefully I can get stuck into some investigations with them. And it's just going to be getting out more and investigating more. Maybe going out on sky watches. And
very cool.
There we are.
Right. So in your episode that you uploaded on YouTube,
yeah,
what did you say? Say it was.
So basically, the backstory is a student in South Devon apparently saw a UFO and took a picture of it, which is what you can see here.
Hmm.
Now, if you look at the shape of the supposed UFO and the light directly underneath it, the street light, they are
Hmm.
similar shapes.
Mm-hmm.
And instantly I said, that's lens flare, but I was wrong. So, question to you guys and the chat, what do you think? That's not a UFO. That is something that is there, but what do you think it is? It's one of those, once you see it, you cannot unsee it.
I think that. Oh, do you mind me chipping in here, Monty, or do you want to go first?
No, you can go first.
Let's test my A-cart skills and the analysis that I've been doing on G-Star Vault. I'm thinking, because I've seen something similar to this before, I'm thinking that what you think is the sea level is not the sea level. The sea level is further back. That's just a dark shading color in the water. And that actually that's a boat or like a cruise ship or something that's lit up that's actually just on the ocean. But it looks like it's in the sky, but it's still on the horizon of the ocean.
Yeah,
That's a very good shout.
I was going to say something similar in that that's a ship or like a ferry or a container ship out at sea, but it's, like you get heat haze, you get like a shimmering effect that can end up magnifying things that are actually just over the horizon and project it up into the sky. You can quite see it. The only problem is it usually happens on like warm days, and that does not look like a warm day.
It definitely looks like there's rain on the camera.
Yeah.
It's also taken behind a window as well.
Oh, it's a reflection. Is it a reflection?
Nothing to do with the window.
Oh, it's not.
It's nothing to do with the window. Now you're starting to zoom in. Now you should be able to get that.
Are you sure it's not that light?
It's not the light, no. Shall I put everyone out of their misery?
Anybody in chat now? Has anybody?
Yeah, anybody in chat say what they think it is. Get in there quick. You're used to it. Anybody that watches the TNG show. Question time. Quick, get it in.
Yeah, Smiler thinks possibly a reflection of the camera light. Like it's a mobile phone camera and it's got a torch on it, and there's a reflection of the torch light on the window.
Ultimately, as you zoom in, though, you see context to the object. Like you can see silver and grey, which you wouldn't get on a reflection of, from the camera from the window.
No, it doesn't look like camera reflection because you can't see any other reflection in the window.
Yeah, you'd see more of a haze around it.
Yeah.
I thought I was on the money with my guess.
Yeah, Becky's not allowed.
Becky, you're banned.
Yeah.
So harsh.
Can you zoom in again, please?
Yeah, I can, yeah. Just drinking my Prosecco.
Someone's got the right answer.
Oh.
It's a seagull on fire.
Seriously? Is it?
No, it's not.
Oh. Oh, you got me there, Dan. I was like, that's a realistic explanation. It's seagull on fire. No, hold on.
That's realistic. When was the last time you saw a seagull on fire?
The last time I set one on fire. No, I'm joking. I would never ever do that. Or
no, don't ban us, YouTube. Don't ban us.
Can you just zoom out a little bit more again?
They need to clean their windows.
What is that? That's down in the right hand side corner.
That's a drip. I think that's a raindrop on the window.
Oh, is it?
Mm.
Oh, then.
Oh, I know.
Oh, it's the moon.
No, it's the sun.
It's the sun. It's the
sun poking through some clouds.
It's the moonrise.
Oh, it's
moonrise.
It's the moon. Obscured by some clouds.
Do you know what? All of a sudden, I started actually going through the A-cart thing under aerial phenomenon, and I got to cosmic lunar phenomena, and that's where I started thinking, oh, it's the sun or the moon or something like that.
You sure it's not? You sure it's not the sun?
That is the moon.
Is it the moon? Is it?
It's a bit too dark for the sun.
It's quite big for the moon. If you ever look at the moon through a
It
camera,
was the recent supermoon, I believe.
but just through a camera, the moon comes out really, really tiny.
But sometimes you also get the moon when it looks orange.
Yeah, yeah. That was at that time, wasn't it?
Was that Exmouth by any chance?
It was somewhere down that way, yeah.
Has Exmouth got a pier?
Yeah, it's got
'Cause-
several.
Because there looks like
It's
a
got like a
pier there.
hotel.
It looks
on the-
like Exmouth, doesn't it?
Yeah, looks like that main hotel. Can't remember what it's called now. Interesting. Hey, we got there in the end. That's a good picture.
well,
Good
good.
explanation. Have you updated the video then, or are you going to leave it for people thinking that it was lens flare?
No, I was going to update it, but I couldn't find any. I did say I was going to find a piece of footage for tonight, and I couldn't find any that I really sort of wanted to show. So I just thought I'd do this picture. Thought I'd
Cool.
Very
bring
cool.
it to
Well,
you guys.
if you want to rip this episode off of YouTube and then cut this segment out where we've been talking about it and use that on your channel, by all means, you can.
Yeah,
Lovely, thank you very
yeah,
much.
yeah. Feel free. Very cool. Well, that is interesting. And I
Very,
suppose
very cool.
Exmouth does point sort of southeast ways, doesn't it? So that would be the moon coming up.
But I can't guarantee that that's Exmouth, though. It could be anywhere. This looks like an area that I know of Exmouth that's familiar.
It is definitely South Devon. I'm not too sure where in South Devon, though.
Yeah. Cool. Well, thank you for that, Dan.
No problem.
Yep. Thank you. And Dan has got a new job and sadly needs to be up at 5:30 tomorrow morning. Is that right?
That is right, yeah. So I'm
Sorry.
going to make a move.
Sorry, I reminded you of that.
No, that's okay.
So, just to book you then, happy to come along and join us for some episodes in season 2, yeah?
Yep, I definitely, 100%.
We might have a good haunted one lined up where haven't really spoke to him about it yet, but we'd like one of our guests to come on and talk about some experiences that they've had throughout their lifetime. And I know that you've got a personal interest in ghosts and that element of the paranormal, so if you wanted to come along for that show, it'll always be great to have you as a guest again in the
I've
future.
also
Dan.
got a personal story for ghosts as well.
Oh,
Nice.
cool.
So
Good
that'll be
stuff.
cool to share, yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Well, good luck getting up tomorrow morning, Dan.
Thank you very much.
we wish you luck.
I do
you.
have work in the morning, but luckily not that early, but you know. Enjoy your weekend though, buddy.
Yeah, thank you for having me on, guys.
Yep.
And well
Thank
done
you
on
for
season
coming.
1.
Oh, thank
No
you.
Thank
worries.
you.
Cheers, Dan.
Thank you.
See you later.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
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 That was Dan, everybody.
That was Dan. And as I mentioned, we've got some interviews coming up and some more guests possibly coming on and continue talking about the Monte Zone, and we can ask them what their favorite episodes were. Should we get into one of the interviews, or do you want to do a G-Star Vault?
Let's do a G-Star Vaults. Let's
Okay.
tackle one of those topics.
And I can share a video file a lot more easier. So let's start with this one. So this is the original titles for G-Star Vault
Yeah, how that's changed.
in the beginning.
So this is a Bigfoot one.
Hi and welcome zoners to another G-Star
Zoners.
Vault. If you're not a zoner and you're just joining
Yeah, I
us
love that.
for the first time, as always, please make sure to like this video, subscribe, and really importantly, share.
I just want to say at this point that thanks to Monty, I realised the sneak peek and Maz.
Yeah,
there.
sorry. I was going to put a live, then I realized she's doing a makeup. So I thought, nope, wait up.
This is at the point that Monty shared his knowledge and was like, do you realize that's green screen that you're using?
Yeah, that's supposed to be chroma keyed out.
Yeah. And I just thought it was a nice, colourful background, so I chose it. And I didn't choose it with the aim of it being green screen, but learnt that trick as we went on.
Yeah.
And comment.
Brilliant.
And that brings me to a really good point, guys. As I've said in previous videos, you've got a really important role to play, and that is...
So we can fast forward to where...
Yeah. Shall I bring Maz? Is Maz ready to come on stream? You can stick your thumbs up when you're ready to come on, Maz. Oh, she's ready. Here we go. We'll bring you on for the discussion of this vault as well. Here we go. Everybody, welcome, Maz and Bob. Hey!
Hi, guys. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we can, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Hiya, thank
I
you for
like
coming.
your background. That's
My pleasure.
very cool.
The what, sorry?
I like your background.
Yes, I'm at Callum's house. He
Ah.
he might have messaged earlier
Yes.
under the name of Callum McBelland.
Yes, I know.
But
Yes.
yes, he cooked an absolutely amazing steak with this great steak rub. And it was absolutely delicious with like smashed roast potatoes and things. And oh, it was well yummy.
I don't know if he heard, but I was telling a story earlier on where I possibly met him in a car park last week.
No, I didn't hear.
Yeah, it was rather strange.
I was like, oh, Callum, I think I might have met you in a car park last week.
Oh, yes. You did meet him in a car park last week. Yeah,
Oh,
he did. Yeah, he said that he might have met you.
and Gary and Dan were like, why are you meeting
I thought he
strange
might have just
people in a car
accosted.
park?
I thought he might have just accosted a complete random stranger that might have looked like you. So I was a little bit worried, but
No.
it was actually you then.
It was me. I had Alex and a bunch of his friends. But because everyone's wearing masks, like,
yeah.
it was just like, hey, Mark, and I had a conversation with him. I was thinking, who was that? And then when I saw his name come up in chat, I was like, oh, it was Callum. That's who it was. Yeah. Anyway,
indeed.
there you go. Anyway, I was getting strange looks of why I was meeting strange men in car parks.
Especially ones that have the name
Cheers, by the
Callum
way.
Bellend.
Callum Bellend. Yeah, I have to meet Mr. Bellends in car parks. That's, yeah.
Muck
Muck
Bellend.
Bellends. Yeah. So anyway, this vault. Carry on, G.
Yeah.
Here we go. Let's check out the video and see what you
All right,
guys
my
think.
friends, this is part 2 of my first video of Sasquatch watching me. I'm going to go ahead and let it play for a little while so you can see it's an actual video that I recorded. I've been getting a lot of comments saying it's not an actual video. Why didn't you wait and watch them move and all this other thing? Why didn't you approach them? All this other things. But you have to understand, I've been watching these Sasquatch for many years. I've studied their behavior. I know their behavior. They're not going to get up. They're going to sit there and watch me and wait me out. It'll be a waiting game. They know I'm here. They know I'm here before I get there. So as you saw that one Sasquatch watching me. Here's another one right there watching me. I mean, they're here. They know me. They're not going to move. So I will post more videos in the future.
Hey guys, welcome.
There you go.
So what was the main thought in chat on that one then?
What, on the G-Star Vaults, the
Yeah.
comments afterwards? Well, it was a mixed bag because actually on Facebook, I think it was Mickey pointed out that the guy, because originally in the video I was saying that when I looked at his channel, there wasn't, other than 2 videos, there wasn't really any connection to Bigfoot content. And that his channel wasn't about Bigfoot, and so therefore, if he's uploading and sharing some Bigfoot videos, does that not make it a little bit more credible? But Mickey found out that the guy is in some form part of some group that are like, avid Bigfoot enthusiasts. However, in the chat on YouTube, in terms of the comments, most people thought that it was, most people said it was interesting and needed a little bit more look at.
Mm.
But there was mixed views from me, even I think in my analysis, because there's bits where he's talking about it and I can't see what he's seeing. There's certainly one bit that in the middle, that's the bit in the video that I zoomed in on and then sort of did a little bit of analysis, and you can kind of see what looks like the outline of a face, but whether that's pareidolia and that's light and leaves playing tricks on you, can't be sure.
It
But,
looks like
yeah.
pareidolia to me.
Mm.
I mean, just from my looking at that video, it's one of those ones as well. It's a video of a video, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of them, sometimes. And there's some dialogue as well that he's talking about in the video that kind of makes no sense to me when he's going on about, I just wanted to make sure people knew this was a video. And it's not like, what else was it going to be? Like a seagull? Like, it's a video. Is it
a seagull on fire?
He's playing something on a TV screen. He's going, I want to prove to people that this is a video. Yeah, you're playing it on a TV screen, mate. Like, what more do you need to I don't know what he was kind of getting at there, or whether he was suggesting that people were saying that he photoshopped it. Yeah, so it was a bit of a mixed bag, but as requested, anything that on YouTube got the comments, vote or study it, had to bring it, so brought it.
What do we think in chat? Let us know what you think of that video of a Bigfoot in chat, and let us know what you think. Maz, what did you think of it, seeing it there?
Oh,
there you
Sorry,
go.
just taking myself off mute.
Yeah, that's all right.
I've got a couple of noisy boys here, but
Yeah, that's all
I've
right.
just left the room. Yeah, I mean, it did sound a little bit dodgy, a little bit forced, I'd say, but
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So, that was the first G-Star vote. So we've got Maz that's come along. Thank you very much, Maz, for joining us this evening for the finale.
my pleasure.
And you got to join us on the episode that we've already been talking about a lot this evening. The point of conversation has been Monty's Red Panda appearance. Yeah, and it wasn't that, see, I'm now think I'm confused because I thought it was the AI episode that we had to do over 2 sessions because it went
It was
down.
both.
Or
It was both of them.
Oh, both.
Yeah.
So it happened twice.
Yeah.
My memory isn't as bad as I thought then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the AI, the technology episode, technology failed us miserably.
Yeah, because I thought I could remember us joking about it and saying, "Oh, we're doing an episode about AI," and it's failed on us. Yeah. So yeah, you obviously joined us for that episode. So like I was saying to Dan earlier on, because I've been asking everybody the same questions this week, and as you were a guest, to start off with, you can't choose this one as your favorite episode or the one that you were in, but other than the one that you were a guest on, is there a particular favorite episode that you had from season 1?
Yeah, so I guess because it's something that's closer to my heart, because it's somewhere that I've visited, and you featured some of the pictures from actually my travels. But I quite like the Egypt one with the exploration of the pyramids of Giza and some of the sort of myths and theories around them, their placement, their function. And all that kind of stuff.
Middle Khafre pyramid looks like the biggest.
There you are, look.
Yeah,
you
there's
beautiful
me.
people. Yeah.
On the scene, used in the episode.
It was indeed.
I'm immensely
I don't know why
jealous.
you featured that picture.
Oh, it's just a nice picture. Well, it was a picture of the 2 of you, so I thought, well, it's nice.
Well, yeah,
And the
and he wanted
pyramids.
to talk about his knowledge, his geek knowledge of going, that pyramid in the middle that looks like
see
the
how
superior pyramid isn't
the
the
middle
superior
Khafre
pyramid.
pyramid looks like the biggest, most impressive one, but it isn't. It's actually that one. This is
All right, yeah,
gorgeous,
okay.
Mr. Know-It-All.
I love going into. Actually, I'm going to tell you some facts now. I'm
It's-
such a nerd sometimes.
It's interesting. I've realised this evening by watching some of the different footage, because I think it's happened twice throughout the season. But when you shave your beard short, it makes you look bolder. I don't know why.
Somebody look bolder.
Yeah, I know.
It's like my head has less hair. Yeah.
Yeah,
I know.
probably. Well, that is the truth.
Yeah.
But yeah, you definitely see.
Funny.
Put it in chat whether you agree with me. It definitely suits him with the longer beard.
Yeah, small goatee or big beard. That's what we want to know. That's probably the most important,
Thing going on in chat.
important question of the night in chat that I need help with. Because I have to be honest with you, I was planning on shaving back to that on Monday for the 19th for Freedom
Don't
Day.
do it.
I was going to completely shave my beard off.
Ugh.
Ugh. That's not a very nice comment, is it?
No, I don't want to actually see your face.
Yeah, keep
That's
it beyond
not
that carpet.
That's not what we pay the money for.
It just looks better with a longer beard.
Do you think so?
Yeah, keep the beard. Looks better, says Mickey.
Oh,
Big beard, wizard beard, says Daniel. Keep the beard, says Trailblazer. It's keep the beard. Screw the freedom.
screw the freedom. Keep the lockdown
Keep the beard. Yeah.
But it's so hot and it's
Yeah.
like summertime.
Yeah, I know. That's one of the reasons why I was sorry, man. And funny enough, they say it's the wizard beard. We just had the real wizardry come on and say hi. So there you go. We've actually got a wizard who's actually come on and said hi, just as we started to compare me to a wizard. So there's
nice.
there's a shocking
Hello,
coincidence.
hello, real wizardry.
Yeah, good to see you all. Thank you for coming and
Almost
joining
screwed
us.
up saying that simple word.
Yeah. You see, he's with me. He's like, it's too hot for a big beard like this. You're right. Maybe a slight trim. Maybe. I'm looking at myself there now, and I'm thinking, yeah, no. I haven't got enough of a chin for no beard. Anyway, it's like
But
I
when it
lose
came
half
to
of my face.
This was the episode that we were talking about. I had absolutely terrible internet connection.
Yes, look at the quality. Look at the absolute
Yeah, I look like
quality.
I'm back. I look like I'm from some sort of American sitcom in the 1980s.
Yeah.
It's like blurred out.
Where are you sat there, actually? You in your cabin?
Still in the cabin,
Still in
but
the
when
cabin.
I had the different setup and I had the sofa, and the reason why I sat there is because I wanted to get the picture in the background,
Right.
my Egyptian picture,
Yeah, I can still see it back there. It's still there up on the
my
wall.
papyrus.
Mm.
So yeah. So I asked you, Maz, like, what was your favorite episode, and you told us the
The Egyptian.
you took the Egyptian one. Is there any episode that you would like us to cover in season 2 that we haven't covered?
What, any topics that you haven't
Yeah.
covered?
Sorry, I was
Um,
trying to multitask then, and I was trying to remove that video.
I don't think you touched too much on. I mean, I think you did touch a bit on it, but like the Valley of the Kings and stuff in Egypt. But there are like a bunch of other. There's just so much rich kind of subject matter in Egypt that there's a possibility of expanding there. But no, I mean, there's no sort of specific mythologies. I think I'd like to hear about more hauntings for sure. I think we should do some sort of trip to Bob in jail. I think that'd be excellent. And I also really like the Bigfoot episode. That was another favorite of mine, although I know you guys have sort of covered that topic a bit in both the main episode and some of the G-Star vaults and such like. But no, I mean, I've really enjoyed the content. I mean, I this is less my subject matter area than yours, but yeah, it's been great.
Cool.
Cool.
Where
Yeah,
where do you stand on the should we create 2 separate channels for the Monte Zone and the TNG review? Do you think that's a good idea?
I am not a social media guru. You could well do. You'd probably have less viewers on each separate channel than you would on a combined channel. So I don't know exactly what that means. You know, it might be better for the viewers, maybe less good for your stats. So yeah, I don't know.
Maybe we'll talk to the real wizardry off camera and see what he thinks. That might be an idea. So it turns out the real wizardry is the chap that Trailblazer was talking about earlier.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, because he said, yes, it's Neil from the Real Wizardry channel. There we go. So, yes, he's come on. So, yeah, we were just looking back over our first season of the Monte Zone. And, yeah, maybe that'll be a good thing to do.
Speaking of wizardry, you haven't really covered sort of magic, have you?
No.
Magic, witches, burning at the stake, Salem, all that kind of stuff. Could be an interesting topic.
There's huge amount of content. I mean, in one of the videos, I think that I took where I interviewed some of the viewers this week, I mentioned a couple of spoilers of episodes that I was thinking about bringing into season 2 of subjects that we haven't covered. But then even last night, I was thinking there's still a huge amount that wouldn't even touch the surface. Like just last night, I was thinking vampires and werewolves. We haven't covered that. Zombies. Because actually, zombie sounds a bit stupid, but I want to know where in history. Is it just something that's come up in modern culture?
Yeah, where did the mythology come from?
Yeah, what's behind it? Because I heard, or I know that I've seen stuff that it's related to like black magic and some of the early things in what's the island? The island where the black magic is really popular in the Caribbean.
Jamaica?
No.
Like voodoo?
Yeah, voodoo. Where's that synonymous with?
A few places. I mean, they have it a lot in the kind of, you know,
New Orleans
and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, in the, what do you call it? I can't remember what they're called, the swampy areas. The bayou. In the bayou.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, certainly not Jamaica or Barbados. Well, Jamaica is kind of connected a little bit to black magic, but
yeah, I just remembered it was in a Bond film, I think, which was based around Jamaica.
That's not the island that I was thinking of. It was sort of like along the lines of Cuba, but not Cuba again. So.
Dominican Republic. I think Dominican Republic,
one,
they have a lot of that. That was in a X-Files episode where they had refugees from a Dominican Republic, and it was black magic.
But as I say, you know, you say zombie and
Haiti.
You think, but Haiti.
That was
it.
Haiti.
Yeah, you think zombies, but then if we research a little bit, we could go back, you know, and find out where it first rooted in history, and people may not realize that that's where it comes from. Lots of interesting stuff we can do.
Definitely.
So, what do we want to do now? Because I've asked all the questions I need to ask Maz.
Well, there was, I don't know, I had a couple of pictures that I could share, but I don't know how interesting they would be. But it was more just sort of on the Egypt theme, I guess.
Yeah.
In terms of, there was two things really. One was, did you show like the pyramid that just looks like a heap of rubble?
Yes.
I seem to remember you talking about it, but did you see any? You didn't have any pictures from inside, no?
No.
No, I don't know which one you're talking about.
I just thought it was quite interesting because, like, it just looks like a complete heap of rubble on the outside. I don't quite know how to. Do I share a whole screen? Can I just share my pictures? How do I share my pictures? I don't know if I'll be able to.
It's not easy. Sharing videos really easy. Sharing pictures, for some reason, complicated.
Yeah, that seems to be true. Screen sharing is best with 2 monitors. That's probably not going to work very well. Share window. Right. Here we go. Here we go. Let's see if this works. Tell me if this works.
Okay.
Can you see anything?
Hang on. Yeah, I can add it to stream now. Sort it out. There you go.
Go away.
There you go.
Naughty boy's back. So you can see that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, is this the pyramid with the pyramid texts and the stars on the ceiling?
Yes, it is. Yeah. Did you see that one? Did you?
No, I know which one it is. It's a female pharaoh, isn't it?
I must admit, I can't remember. The problem is I can't seem to page on from the picture. Well, if you have seen that one, I don't know. I could probably let me. I'll have to page on probably off sharing. I don't know. It won't seem to let me page on. Oh, I don't know how to do this. The other thing I was going to show you, maybe it'd be better if I show you that one instead, is there's a theory about how the pyramids might have been built. And I've got 2 pictures on this, but I'll put it on the one that's the most interesting one.
Okay.
But I don't know if you guys have heard this theory before. But essentially, we went to this place where you walk in, and I don't know if you know, but you have these big sort of walls. When you're walking into like a major temple, you have these really, really massively high walls, and they call them pylons. And we went into one place, and they had a completed pylon, and one that had never been completed, so it was partly under construction. So because it was partly under construction, it potentially gave a hint as to how they did it. And they basically seemed to do it by scaffolding, essentially scaffolding. And what they do apparently is, I don't know if you can see this, but you have different types of bricks. So you've got these mud bricks, these little tiny ones that you can see at the bottom. And they stack up these mud bricks, which are essentially temporary bricks. And they use those mud bricks like steps in order to build this massive wall. So it's almost like scaffolding, and you can build up the mud bricks layer by layer as you build up the wall with the big bricks. And then once the wall's completed, like the other one was, you take all these temporary mud bricks away. But because this side of the wall was never actually finished, the mud bricks were never taken away, and they just got sort of preserved, and they've just been like that, for a really long time. And actually around this area, this temple, there was like a village of huts, and a lot of those were kind of made out of these mud bricks, and they tried to preserve them as best they can as well. You can see some of the mud bricks sort of disintegrated, some of them less so, but the theory is that they use this temporary mud brick concept as almost like a form of what we would now think of as scaffolding to build these big structures, and then they take them away afterwards because they're temporary. So I just thought it was quite an interesting idea, really.
Yeah, that's really cool. And you got the picture for it. It's amazing that the mud bricks are still there after all this time.
Yeah, I mean, my skeptical side makes me think maybe these ones closer have been remade, and maybe the ones behind it, but you just don't know, do you?
Think
but
this is what it would have looked like. This is what it looks now.
Yeah,
that's
what it seems like it might be.
Yeah.
But you can still see, I don't know if you can sort of see me zooming in, but you can sort of still see how they were at a point in time.
Very cool.
But yeah, I just thought that was quite an interesting point. Whether or not that was used, for the pyramids constructions and stuff, I don't know. But it seems like quite a cool thing. And obviously, because they would take that away, for us, like all this time later, we'd think, oh, how did they ever do that? And you don't have that evidence. But actually, in some places, you've got some evidence of that. So I just thought it was quite a cool thing, really.
Yeah.
That was it, really.
Will Wizardry says the Great Pyramid has 2 million stones, meaning they'd need to lay one every if they laid one every 2.5 minutes, it would take over 10 years. Build. I think it might have taken longer than that.
Yeah, it took like a few generations, didn't it?
Well, no. They say that each pyramid was for a pharaoh, so each pyramid was done in a lifetime of a person. And
yeah, I guess. Yeah, I suppose it depends how you think of generations. Like in one
interestingly,
generations.
We did talk about when we talked about the pyramid. We did talk about the contested ages of the pyramids, and but
to talk about that. I went on
recently,
an absolute rant.
Yeah, recently, evidence have come to light for the Great Pyramid that does date it to around Khufu's reign. They finally found in Edinburgh Museum the fragments of staff that were found in the tunnels in the Queen's Chamber. They were found in it was like the 1930s or something, 1920s, or a bit earlier than that. They went to the British Museum and then went to Scotland, and the museum lost them. And since they were found, techniques have come about where we could have taken the wood and carbon dated it and then come up with the age of the pyramid, because it was like the only piece of like wood that was hidden behind a wall that was finished off. So it had been trapped there since the Queen's Chamber was built. So we could have dated the pyramid. And it only came to light in the last 6 to 8 months. And it's been carbon dated, these fragments of wood that has put the pyramid around the time of Khufu. The woods actually it came about 300 or 400 years earlier than we thought. But they think possibly the wood, which was cedar, might have been a prized possession. It might have been passed down against a few generations. So it might have been an old piece of wood when it was broken in the pyramid. But anyway, that was quite interesting.
Yeah, something I was going to say earlier, where you were talking about built in the lifespan of the pharaohs. What you got to think about is what the lifespan was then as well, because it's probably only about 40, 50 years at best.
Not for pharaohs, because they were pampered and looked after, and for the hoi polloi, yes, but not necessarily for the pharaohs. Real Wizardry says, what do we talk about? Yeah, all sorts of things. I think you probably answered that, didn't you, G?
Yeah.
All sorts of paranormal things on this show. Anything that also things that you guys want to talk about as well.
Think X-Files / Twilight Zone.
Yes,
Can
that's
be
right.
weird tech things, can be paranormal,
Monte Zone.
Space stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
we're not afraid of anything.
But yeah, we certainly like to have
We ain't
you
afraid
on.
no ghosts, that's for sure.
Yeah. So potentially, we could, if you're available when we start season 2, you'd like to come on and talk about your channel and some of the topics you're really interested in. That would be fantastic. Yeah.
What was originally Trailblazer suggesting that he come on? It was the Skinwalker Ranch, because he's done was it Skinwalker Ranch or Egypt?
Yeah, he said he wasn't sure whether he knew anything about Skinwalker Ranch, but he does those types of topics, I think, was what.
Right.
He says they pharaohs died around 35 years old. Well, I think maybe they did, but I think they might have lasted a bit longer than that.
I find Hatshepsut a really interesting topic, because she was like a lady pharaoh, but then all of her statues and stuff, they put a beard on, but she basically took over by almost banishing her son. Like, she sent him off on some sort of quest to become a man, and like he didn't come back for 20 years, and she just reigned in his absence. But yeah, she was sort of a bit original girl power.
Yeah, very cool.
But in a very mercenary way. So that was quite an interesting story. But there's just like, it's just a fascinating topic, I find.
Yeah. Oh, and Real Wizardry does have experience of skinwalkers, so that's interesting. There we go. Someone interesting to talk to. Well, thank you for coming and talking to us this evening, Matt.
It was my absolute pleasure.
And thank you for being a guest on the show as we went through season 1 as well.
Also my pleasure. And I'll see you guys, if not before, on the next TNG review.
Yeah, it'll be me and you next Wednesday.
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
Look forward to it, as
who's
always.
going to do the question time?
That's a really good question.
I can do it if you want.
What, so that you won't ever get interrupted?
Yeah, no interruptions this week. I can build it into my... Yeah, very cool.
Good idea.
Yeah.
Wicked.
Okay.
Well, have a great rest of night, guys.
Thank you
Enjoy
very
your
much.
evening and say hi
yes.
to the guys for us.
Yeah.
I will indeed. They seem to be outside playing on a trampoline like true adult children do. But yes, we'll still be watching on the phone.
Cool.
Yeah, chat later.
Okay.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers.
Thanks.
Bye.
Good evening.
Bye.
Bye.
There we go.
Right. Shall we? So earlier on in the week, I mentioned that I sat down with Ben from 401 Files, who's been super supportive of us throughout season 1, and he joined us on our most popular episode on the Bigfoot. He couldn't make it this evening, but as I said, I sat down with him. Do you want me to play the video now?
Yes, go for it. So this is
Cool.
Ben from the 401 files.
Yeah. And I won't tell you anything more because there's a nice surprise.
Oh, right.
Thank you for joining me for this interview. I know that you couldn't make the live show on Friday on the live stream, so we've done this interview so that you can be part of our season 1 finale. So thank you for joining, and more so, thank you for all your support for the Monte Zone and the channel, and what we've been doing throughout season 1. It's been awesome that you've given us that support.
No, geez, it's my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's in this world of social media where not everybody's nice to each other, it's really great when you can meet people who are so supportive and giving of their time and expertise and resources. And not only have you featured on the show with us on the live stream, but you've given myself and Monty some really helpful points and just again been really supportive. So before we get into the interview, I just wanted to say a big thank you. So going straight on, what I wanted to talk about first before we start talking about the Monte Zone, this week you uploaded a video to YouTube, and I was so pleased to see that you joined the club of those that have actually experienced UAP or UFO phenomenon. And
Yeah.
I'm going to put a link in the description for all of our viewers, and I want everybody to check it out. But just tell us a little bit about it and how it feels now.
It feels absolutely incredible, to be honest. This is something that I've spoke about on my channel a lot recently, is that I've never actually seen anything that I would call to be a UFO. I've always wanted to see one. I've always wanted to join that club, but I've never actually seen anything that I could indefinitely say, yes, that was a UFO until recently. Do you want me to dive straight into what happened and what I saw?
Yeah, please do. You know, it would just be great to hear it fresh from your point of view for the guys that are on the stream tonight.
Absolutely. So me and my brother, we'd gone out to a place called Flamborough Head. Originally, we'd gone to Bempton Cliffs. Now, Bempton Cliffs is a very well-known hotspot for UFO sightings, strange lights in the sky, that kind of thing. There's a lot of phenomena happening in and around Bempton Cliffs. So we'd gone there with the hopes of seeing something. Never really thought that we would. And partly there as well to film a documentary that I'm doing at the minute. After spending maybe an hour or two at Bempton Cliffs, we decided that we'd go just down the road. It's only about 20-30 minutes away, and go check out another place called Flamborough Head. Again, Flamborough Head equally has the same amount of strange sightings, UFOs, reports, that kind of thing. So we're at Flamborough Head, and it's our first time there, but knowing the history that it's got and all these strange reports from that place, we're super excited just to go and check it out. I did my part of the video. We spoke about what it could be that people are seeing. We spoke about the possibility of it being the lighthouse, which wasn't too far behind us actually, and the light was casting some really weird patterns and shapes and things. So we started to talk about how it could be people, how it could be that people are getting confused with what they're seeing. But
cheers, real.
The thing with the lighthouse is the light hits really, really far out at sea. It's not right down at your feet in front of you, and so I kind of ruled that out. There is a lot of weird contrasted colours when that lighthouse is hitting things off in the distance, blah, blah, blah. But we just wrapped it up basically and said, that's it. We spoke about everything we need to touch on here. Let's go back to the van, hit the road and get home. And then as I'm looking back at my phone through the footage that I just recorded, my brother's like, whoa, did you see that? And I looked up from my phone into the sky and I saw or caught the back end of some orange lights basically just blinking out in the sky. So I'm like, wow, I did see something there. That was really, really strange. So my brother's there saying, keep looking in that direction. So I'm looking off into the sky and I see these two orange, ready looking lights flashing on and then flashing off. And the way they were moving and the direction that they were heading, I assumed first of all that this could be a plane. I was thinking, okay, they flashed once there, they flashed there, and now it's likely that they'll be there again because this looks like it could be a plane. Looking back and logically thinking it wasn't a plane at all, this thing was way too big. And no sound at all, absolutely no sound, no engine, nothing. But yeah, at this point, I was just still trying to think logically, and my go-to was that this could be
Sorry
a
about my breathing and my mic.
Now, that
I don't know what was
changed
going
when
on.
The lights didn't flash again in the direction that I thought they would. In fact, they came back on themselves and flashed over here again.
Wow.
And then they did this like 2 or 3 times, and it was almost like it was frantically trying to figure out which way to go. 1 minute it would flash here, the next it would flash here, and go back and forth doing that. And then all of a sudden, this, I'm going to call it a craft because later on, these lights did illuminate some kind of a shape to this thing. So I'm going to call it a craft. And this thing flew out to sea rapidly, in the blink of an eye almost. It flew...
So where, when you first saw it, roughly distance from you, what would you estimate that distance was?
It's very difficult to judge distance when you're in the dark like that. But I would say it was no more than a mile away. I'd say about a mile and a bit away.
Right.
But again, when you've got nothing else in the sky around it, it's very difficult to judge that distance.
Yeah,
but this thing
true.
was a very large object. Like I said, these lights were very distinct. There was no confusing it with like a drone or a Chinese lantern or anything like that. I'd already done at this point, I'd already done like the process of elimination and gone through all those things. Is it Venus? Is it a drone? Is it a Chinese lantern? And it was none of those things, nothing like them at all.
Well, that's the beauty of it, that you're so immersed in this and done so much of reviewing lots of content that you kind of already are trained into eliminating all of those other explanations. So that's why it's like really good coming from you that you've made this opinion of what you've seen.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, I was already in that mindset of trying to eliminate what this thing could be, trying to think logically and explain this thing away, because far too many times we just jump to the UFO conclusion and it could be something quite natural.
Yeah.
But on this occasion, I was stuck. I was lost for what this could be. It fired out to sea about maybe 20, 30 miles in the blink of an eye with no sound whatsoever. This thing was gone, like literally across the sea. If you'd have blinked, you'd have missed it. And literally that's what happened. Out at sea, about 20, 30 miles away, this thing blinked out, and that was the last time we saw it. Wow. And then moments later, only a few moments later, we hear the sounds of a fighter plane overhead, literally roaring in the direction that this thing had just vanished out at sea.
Jesus.
My brother made the remark of, well, that's a bit odd, like how coincidental that we've not heard a plane all day, we've not seen a fighter plane or heard one, and then all of a sudden we see this strange craft, and now there's one overhead. So yeah, that was really strange when we put 2 and 2 together like that. And things got even weirder, because once the engines of this fighter plane had died down and we're now stood there again in silence, thinking, what the hell have we just seen? Like, what on earth was that?
Yeah.
There was a dark hanging cloud just above our heads, and it was the only cloud pretty much in the sky at that time. And I've got to add this, that the cloud cover at that time was minimal, except for this like one dark, low hanging cloud. And as I stood there in silence, talking amongst ourselves about what that could have been, did you see how fast it moved? Those lights looked really weird. This thing emerged again from directly above us, from this dark, low hanging cloud. And I said to my brother, oh my God, it's above us. It's above us. And I was completely amazed, because to get there, you would have seen it make the journey back from out at sea. We heard the noise. We saw nothing. We didn't see it make the trip back. We didn't hear no noise. It just vanished out at sea and then reappeared directly above our heads, almost as if it had pulled a quick one on this fighter plane and done a huge U-turn, but without us ever hearing it or seeing it make that journey back. Absolutely amazing. We saw it 1 or 2 times after that. It flashed again a few times and then disappeared, and we never saw it again. But absolutely.
At that point when you were looking at that cloud and it came out from behind there, was it fear that was going through you, or was your natural
like when you see
curious
something
mind?
Do you know when you see something that's so odd and bizarre that you almost think like, no, come on, like, what is this? Like, what is this that I'm looking at right now? This has got to be some kind of a prank. It's got to be something that I can explain. It was kind of that emotion, but the way it came out of the cloud was so eerie. It, like out of a movie. If you watch any kind of UFO movie and you see them emerge slowly from this dark cloud and the cloud wraps around the craft, you know, it was weird. It was like that. And this thing as well, we spoke about this, me and my brother, about how fast this thing was. The speed was incredible. And the nearest thing on the journey home, because we couldn't stop talking about it the whole way home, was trying to explain a way that this thing moved, because that's the thing that stuck with us both, is that moved really, really weird. And the closest thing that we got as an example was the cursor on a computer. When you grab the mouse of a computer and you slide the cursor from one side to the other, the movement or the way it moves is really, really fluid. There's no restriction, there's no drag, it just moves. And if you pull it back the opposite way, it doesn't stop to come back, it just literally goes that way.
Yeah.
The instant
I
you move your
start
hand in the
putting the
opposite way.
mouse
That's how
side to
this
side.
thing moves, just like a cursor on a computer.
I'm always
so
doing that.
fluid, so fast, and yeah, like nothing I've ever seen before. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I kind of, it's a good analogy to use, really, because I can get the idea that you
I'm with
kind of
you,
see
Mickey.
the
I'd love to
cursor,
see
but you
some of that.
don't.
Yeah.
And then if you stop it in certain
That's it.
places, you kind of, yeah, so that's a really good analogy. Well, I mean, it's a fantastic
We were
experience.
saying as well, sorry, G.
Go on.
Sorry, just to add, we was also saying that looking back now on reflection, I honestly believe that this craft knew that there was a fighter plane inbound. When we first saw this craft and we didn't know that there was a fighter plane coming, it just was a case of, well, this thing's acting weird. Why is it going that way and then coming back on itself? Why is it firing out to sea? Why is it blinking and then disappearing here? But now looking back, this thing must have known that that fighter plane was inbound. And that's why it was acting frantically. That was why it was acting desperately, basically trying to figure out which way it was going to go. Because it did. It came left across the sky, went back on itself, before finally making the decision just to fire out to sea really, really quickly. And then, like I said, the last time we saw it, it was hiding in a cloud. So I honestly believe that this thing did know that there was a fighter plane inbound. I think it knew that it was picked up on radar long before we did.
I tend to agree with you, and I think that the coincidence is just too strong. And like you said, it flew over your heads and it was heading in the direction of what you'd seen. So I think the two are interconnected. I mean, as I said earlier, I'll put a link to your video where you discuss this experience. I'll put that in the description, and I really want everybody to go and check that out. And you know, the main reason is that you only got audio, didn't you, of you and your brother talking about some of the incidents after or as it was happening.
That's right.
But unfortunately, due to the night time and the equipment that you've currently got, you weren't able to film any of it. But the fact that you've shared this and uploaded it, I think it shows the level of your credibility in terms of, a lot of people would naturally think, okay, well, where's the footage? Why have you not filmed it? Yeah. But you're so confident about the experience that you've had, and it's affected you so much that you've gone ahead and just shared the audio and talked about it descriptively, which actually I think in some ways is better. I mean, I must admit, when I first saw your video uploaded and I started looking at it, I got excited. I thought, oh, I could bring this into G-Star Vault and do a bit of ACART on it, you know, because there's so many stimuli in there that would make for a, you know, like the reaction of the Air Force craft and or the military aircraft, and you know, but you know, it must be equally brilliant to have that experience, but equally frustrating that you didn't have the, you know, because I've been there myself. When we were discussing this the other day, I didn't mention to you, but about 2 years ago, I had an experience with some friends where we saw something, but we were sat in a hot tub, and so didn't have phone or anything anywhere near us.
Was it your hot tub?
So all we could do is sit there and talk about
Not
it.
the one I have now.
And, you know,
it was
it's not
this was
the
at
same as
Henley
your
Park.
experience, because I can't be
Into a point
that certain that it was something that was not misidentified by us, but it was frustrating that all I could do is then reflect on it, and we could just talk about it. We can go back and look at footage and analyze it and stuff like that. So, but I'm still super happy that you've had that experience, especially someone who's been so interested in the phenomenon for such a long time and has stayed credible and has openly said, you know, I've not experienced anything, but I'm really interested in it.
That's it.
And I'm so glad now that you've had that experience.
Yeah, me too. And I just want to add as well, because this is something that me and my brother was chatting about today, is in the comments to that video, somebody remarked that it's a bit coincidental that it was our first time there. This is a non-hotspot for UFOs, and lo and behold, we see something. And I was just saying to my brother, well, yeah, I get that. I understand that more than anyone. Like, I know that me going there on the first time and saying that I've seen something would be the most unbelievable thing to say. So why then would I go make a video saying it? Like, surely I would go there a few times and then say on the 5th time, yeah, we saw something. But that's not what happened. And I've only got to stay true to what really happened. And that was that we did see something on the first time there. And apparently that's not unusual. Like Paul Sinclair, that operates in that area quite a lot, he was saying that it's quite common. Like, a lot of people there on the first time do report seeing stuff. So I'm not sure whether it was the fact that it was our first time and that is why we saw what we saw.
We're going there,
I'm not
Jim.
sure, but
We're going. We're going there. That's it.
Well, it's a bit far away for me, but I'd love to go there. But yeah, I need to get out a little bit more and do some sky watching. And it's super interesting as well, because I presume that you were primarily there, like you mentioned earlier, because you were filming the documentary and you're working on this documentary, and I cannot wait to see this documentary. I know it's going to be outstanding. And, you know, we upload videos, you upload videos, and there'll always be the haters out there and the people that will scream fake. And the fact is that, you know, the reason why we have such a good association, and I love your channel, is because I know that it's super, super credible, and you would never, and just what you were saying, like, oh, I could have, of course.
That's what I mean, yeah.
You know, the first time I'm going there, but the fact that you've shared it, and you shared it in the format, and this is why I want everybody to check
coming
it out.
with us.
It just makes it, in my opinion,
I've just put road trip.
credible and true to who you are, which is, and as I say, I really enjoy your channel because of that. And you know, so I'm glad you shared it.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you, Jay. I really appreciate it as well.
No worries. So going on to the Monte Zone, because as I said earlier, we're celebrating our finale for season 1. The live stream that we're doing this Friday will be the 14th episode. So we've had 13 episodes so far. So far, what do you think we're doing okay with in terms of the live stream show or G-Star Vault? What do you think that we're doing okay with?
Oh, gosh.
I like the fact that you cover many different topics. It's not just the UFOs and extraterrestrials. You go on to other things as well that are considered to be thought-provoking as well. So I really like the range of topics that you talk about. Also, as well, getting the different guests on and sharing opinions. I think that my main number one thing that I really do like, though, Jig, is your research skills, the way you do your homework, the way you drag in videos to back up whatever it is that you're saying or talking about. I really do like that.
Thank you. Yeah, because that research is not always
no, I understand.
Easy, and sometimes it's rushed between other life commitments and stuff like that. But no, it's really interesting, because since we last spoke, I've managed to interview a couple of our viewers, like our loyal viewers, and I was blown away by some of the stuff that they were saying about how much they feel that they learn, and that really pulled at my heartstrings, because we never really set out to have that as an objective, but obviously that's a big payout for what we're doing and the research that we're doing. So yeah, thank you for those comments. That's really nice. So was there a particular favorite episode that you had in season 1 so far?
The Bigfoot episode. And I'm not being biased because I was on that. I just thought it was a great chat where we all got together, and there was a lot of new things, even for me, that came out during that chat that I thought was really interesting. And again, you dragging all the bits of information and footage into that conversation led us down some really interesting rabbit holes. So yeah, I think that would be my favorite. Yeah,
you're among a large crowd. You know, it is our most popular viewed stream that we've done, and you know, a lot of people that I've spoken to, they've said that that's their favorite, and they loved having the guests on. So we would love to have you and Dan on. Dan's going to be joining us for the live stream on Friday, but we'd love to have you guys both more on in season 2 if you can spare the time. It'd be great to have you come on again. So is there anything as we go into season 2 that we haven't covered yet in season 1 that you'd like to see us try and tackle?
Here's an interesting one.
We've spoke about this briefly before, but I think really right now for me, what I'm interested in is the human mind, like the way that the mind works, because that in itself is a very, very fascinating topic with many different rabbit holes that you can go down. For example, dreams. Nobody still really knows why the human body, why do we dream? Why do we just lay there for like 8 and 12 hours a night? not moving, and yet we can go off and live these really like exotic dreams and be whoever we want to be, wherever we want to be. I find that really interesting. But also thoughts. How can we just go into our mind and almost time travel back to a time when we was young and relive it? So yeah, the human mind for me is a very fascinating thing. But I also like to cross over everything that I think about and try and tie knots with the extraterrestrial phenomena. So when I talk about Bigfoot, I talk about Bigfoot possibly being an extraterrestrial entity or a being. When I talk about the human mind, I get interested in things like Betty and Barton Hill, where they spoke to these beings telepathically without using the mouth, just through the mind. So yeah, I think that would be really interesting to explore that.
It's a really good suggestion, because already I'm thinking, okay, you can go quite back in history as well, because you could go to some of the stuff that like is rumored that the Nazis did around telekinesis and things like that, and some experiments that have happened with that. So, and you know, I know that there's plenty of content out there where people are suggesting that they've got power of the mind and can move things, you know, without touching them. So it would be really interesting to delve into that realm of the human mind and some of the unknowns about it, because it's a bit like the oceans, isn't it? It's that one place where medical biology doesn't fully understand exactly why. You know, biologically we know how the human brain works, but we can't explain why we've got individual consciousness and individual personality and what makes that unique, and where that comes in. Obviously a lot of people think it's the soul, and you know, have that, but it would, so really good suggestion. I'm already
That's it.
So it's a really good suggestion, so thank you. And is there anything in season 2 that you'd like us to come back to that we've already covered in season 1?
As much extraterrestrial and UFO stuff as possible, please.
Well, I'm throwing a lot into G Star's Vault on the extraterrestrial side, but yesterday I come across some Bigfoot stuff, so I might do the next G Star on Bigfoot, Sasquatch, I should say, because
that'd be brilliant.
So again, I can't thank you enough for joining me for this interview and taking the time out to share, you know, what you're thinking about the channel. I will be on the live stream playing some bits from that episode that you were talking about, the Bigfoot one, because it is our most popular one, and you're not the only one to say that was my favorite. So yeah, we'll be featuring that anyway. But again, thank you so much for joining me, and hopefully we'll see you on the Monte Zone soon.
Absolutely, G. Thank you for having me.
Super nice. Very cool.
Yeah.
I like the
Very
idea of, you know, going from exploring outwards to exploring inwards and tying that into other things. That's very cool. And the mind is an interesting area, because it's still, like a lot of our realms of exploration, it's still much of an unknown.
Yeah, definitely. And Mickey's just put in chat, near-death experiences could also be interesting. But I didn't realize, because I've been watching a lot of Monte Zone old footage. See, I'm already calling it old, but it's not even a year old yet. But I was watching a lot of the earlier episodes, and I think it was back even as early as episode 5, I was harping on about, I want to do reincarnation. We still haven't done reincarnation.
You said that.
Yeah.
We haven't done that yet.
Yeah, so definitely want to bring reincarnation into season 2 as well.
I'll feature in with the zombies.
Yeah. I think that ties in. Or we could do reincarnation on near-death experience one. Yeah, that'd be interesting.
It's also, I like the way he says, tie these things together so you can build a narrative around it, so it makes an interesting story, or for an interesting live stream, as if you can tie in things like, right, this is a bad example, the whole, you know, souls, reincarnations, zombies. But, you know, it does bring these things together, doesn't it? You can even bring it into like ghosts and haunting, and you know, is it souls escaping and all that sort of thing? You know, you can tie all these different subjects together, can't you? You know, so it's an interesting take on it. Yeah.
But I think we've got plenty of ideas and material for keeping us pumped and going for season 2.
Yeah.
So in line with like what Ben was talking about in the episode that he chose as a favorite, I prepared some footage of that episode, a segment of it. What I did was I chose, I created a video called like Thinker Thunker, because one of the things that I was talking about with somebody this week was just how interesting it was for that Bigfoot episode that brought that bit of footage from Yellowstone National Park. If you remember, do you remember the one? Is it towards the end of the episode?
Yes.
Where with the bison?
Yes. It's
Yeah.
bison, and there was like a family in the background that walked across.
Yeah. And basically, it was a good example of rushed research, because I grabbed that off the internet like the day before and hadn't really absorbed it or watched it. I just thought, oh, here's another bit of footage that I can attach and we could talk about it on the episode. And then as we started talking about it in the episode, like Ben was like, have you checked out Thinker Thunker's analysis of this? So what I've done is I've taken that segment and then I put a portion of Thinker Thunker's analysis on the end of it, because it actually turned out to be a really credible piece of footage that's assigned to Bigfoot that a lot of people in the realm of Sasquatch and Bigfoot feel is a very good piece of evidence for it. But yeah, did you want me to play that now?
Yeah, go on then.
Cool.
So Dan's saying another random subject we could go at was spontaneous human combustion.
Yeah, there's quite a few, and that is something that's bothered me all my life, thinking about that. And if it's a true phenomenon, like it could happen to anybody at any time, that freaks me out.
Right.
Yeah.
Should I press play?
Oh yeah, the famous footage of the guy stood behind the buffalo. Yeah, there's like a family of them that walk over the ridge in the distance.
Yeah. So if you play it from 1:30 mark, and what you're looking at is this is from Yellowstone National Park, and it's buffalo that have appeared. If you look at the ridge at the back, you see a bunch of figures walking.
Sorry, it's a video
across.
of a video of a video now.
Can you see them?
You probably can't see anything.
Right, so the two buffalo are in the center of the picture. Yeah. Look directly up behind the tree line from there, but go back to 1:30.
You'll see a tree that's got no shrubbery on it, like just the trunk up on the horizon in the background there.
Oh yeah.
To the left of that, now you'll see them walking.
Yeah.
And there's several of them. There's like 2 or 3 of them.
I actually believe this footage. I actually do. I've seen.
And then you see them again later when you go forward to where the 2 middle. Buffalo. It's quite funny when Ben says, "Have you seen the Thinker Thunker analysis?" And I go, "No." On the bottom level, the same level as the buffalo are on, and you see them walk in from the right-hand side of the picture.
Where? Do I just let it play out?
I can't remember. I could only remember the start point.
All right. It's a competition. First one to spot the second. In chat, if anybody sees, say now. I imagine it'll be from the background there.
Yeah, it's in between the sort of gap of the trees that I think you see them come into play.
Have you seen Thinker Thunker's breakdown of this, G?
No.
Hey, this is Thinker Thunker, and here we've got some bison, the American buffalo, returning to the Old Faithful site in Yosemite National Park. And back
so
here
this is the actual
behind
analysis,
them,
is
let me
it?
just zoom in.
Yeah.
We see, let's see, 1, 2, 3. We've got 4 Bigfoots on screen at the same time hunting them. It's a world record. So thank you guys for watching, and just kidding, stick around and we will take a closer look.
Hey.
Okay, so first things first, this video was posted by YouTuber Mary Greeley. Mary's got about 2 million views, over 15,000 subscribers, and I believe about 600 videos, but none of them have anything to do with hoaxes or Bigfoot or paranormal. They're all very serious, very sober in nature, as is this video. Which brings us to this brave soul right here. Out here wearing all black, which is kind of odd, with wild buffalo. Now, of course, he's not really standing right there. He's back here just behind these trees, and I just simply took a copy of him, put him up here for scale, and we can see that, remember, bison are measured at their shoulders, 5 to 6.6 feet at their shoulders, I believe, which means the hump is even taller. So just suffice it to say, that's one really big guy. And something completely bizarre about him is he has non-human body ratios. And you can easily tell that by looking at his arm, which is almost as long as his leg. Whereas your arms are 20% shorter than your legs, just like mine, just like every other human on the planet, male or female. We all have pretty much, plus or minus small degrees, the same body ratios. Already, the 4 made it to right here, and I'll scrub back and forth. See where they are now? Now think about that. Could you and your friends put on some monkey suits and risk freezing cold temperatures and scald?
So what's interesting in this analysis, sorry to pause it, but when we spoke about it in the episode, I wasn't even aware that there's some part of the footage where you see them appear in this very right side of the footage as well.
No, we didn't notice
even,
that. No.
We didn't even talk about that, but he does.
Scalding hot water from geysers and being trampled to death by wild buffalo. Could you run? Could you sprint that entire distance in a matter of seconds? I would like to see that.
So, yeah.
Just to answer Mickey's question, now I'm using the same camera. What happens is it's the YouTube compression algorithm. When you load something up to YouTube, it gets compressed. Then when you download it from YouTube, it gets compressed again. And then when you show that in stream like this, it gets compressed again. So by the time you stick it up like that, it looks absolutely shocking. Which is why I was saying last night about making a Fortnite video based on stuff that's been recorded in YouTube. I don't like to do it because the quality doesn't end up looking that great. So anyway, that's why it looks as like that bad.
But just going back to that, I'll put a link in the description, but I think people, if you were interested in that episode and you were interested in that segment that we featured, I would really check out Thunker, his analysis. He is brilliant. I've become such a fan of his channel because what he does is he really openly, he's got such a knowledge about videography and how to gain measurements and how to work with different things like shading and light. And he will debunk a lot of, Bigfoot photos or Bigfoot footage. But then when he goes along with something and says, I think this is genuine, you kind of believe it because he also debunks as well. So, and he really is for this and thinks it's one of the best pieces of evidence in the last 10 years. So, yeah, go and check it out. I'll put a link in the description once this episode is the uploaded, the pre-recorded version. I'll put the link in the description and you can go and check that out if you're interested. But that was one of our most viewed episodes.
Yeah, and I think that was one of the most interesting bits of that episode as well.
Yeah. Well, it was a surprise, wasn't it? And definitely a big part of that surprise came after the show and after I checked out what Ben was talking about, and I wasn't even aware of it. So it was like a nice journey. Yeah. So, there we go. Do you want to get on to some of the viewers' interviews?
Yeah, let's see them. Let's see those lovely viewers.
Who would you like to up first, Dan or Mickey?
Let's have Mickey, as we have Mickey in chat.
Okay. To Mickey, who's joined me for a pre-recorded interview for the live stream finale episode on Friday's live stream. Thank you so much for taking the time out, Mickey, to come along.
Look at that beautiful guy. Look at him.
No problems at all. Glad to be here.
And we've asked Mickey to come along because Mickey is a really loyal fan of not just the Monte Zone but the channel as a whole. And I am right in thinking you've been on one TNG review.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the live stream on a Wednesday night, and also is our top running winner on the quiz questions as well.
Demolishing all opposition.
On that show that we do on a Wednesday night. But also a big fan of the Monte Zone and gets really involved with G-Star Vault as well. So really worthwhile asking you to come along for this finale episode. So here's the question. I was just interviewing one of our other viewers just a moment ago, and I asked this first question. What is it so far in season 1? Because we've done, when we do the live stream on Friday, it's our 14th episode, so we've done 13 live streams so far. We're not even a year old yet. We get round, our first live stream was on September 20th of 2020. So we're not even at a year yet, but we're going to be taking a bit of a break. But so far in season 1, what have we kind of done okay? What do you think is good about the show as a whole?
Well, what I liked about it, like I'd never heard of it before until I stumbled across it. It's the information. Some of the stuff I knew about it, but I didn't know the details of it. And some of the stuff that you are telling me now, you're thinking, Jesus, this is a wee bit more than I thought it was. Like Mars, I knew about Mars and I watched the rovers and all going up and different bits and pieces, but never did I think it was as detailed and go so far back. So that's opened my eyes a bit. It's very interesting. I've actually read up a bit more about the tabletop, big flat surface. I was reading up a bit about them, and it's just I find it interesting. But I've always found planets and Mars and all that interesting anyway. So it just sort of suited me perfect.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what somebody else has been saying to me as well. Like they come along and it's not maybe it's a subject that they maybe know about loosely or don't know anything at all, and they're like feel like they're getting educated for 2 hours on a Friday night and going back to school.
Yeah.
I hope it's not too teachy, like because we our main goal at the very beginning was myself and Monty. We do that kind of stuff a lot, just throughout the years that we've known each other and be friends, just sit around just chatting about all kind of weird stuff and coming at it from a weird angle. So we just thought we would try and replicate that on a live stream show. So it was like just joining us, coming along for a chat. But I think we're getting better at it. So was there a particular episode in season 1 so far that you really enjoyed above any of the others?
Well, probably for me it was the haunted locations. I like that just because it's sort of close to home and enjoyed it now.
Yeah.
I follow paranormal quite a bit now, so like TV shows, This House, The Last House. It is just everywhere.
I'm glad that you've chosen that episode because everybody else seems to be going towards one particular episode. It is our most popular viewed live stream.
The haunted one, is it?
Huh?
The haunted one's the most popular one?
No, it's another one. But I'm glad that you've chosen the haunted one because that was quite recent as well, wasn't it? So, it's not a subject that I'm particularly close to. Like, there's a couple of things that we featured so far that I would say
it was one of those ones, wasn't it? So I'm just pausing it there. That the haunted episode was one of those ones where we both had to do some research, and find those stories. A bit like the missing 411, really, where it was like finding some interesting cases and some interesting facts, and making a bit of a story out of it. So I'm quite glad he liked that episode.
I was a bit of an enthusiast before we started doing the live stream. So obviously the UFO subject and BIGFOOT is another one that I was pretty familiar with, but then a lot of the stuff, not at all. We've got to do our research in preparation. So sometimes it's like going back to school for us because you got to do like a week of research before you
Yeah.
can do the
Seriously.
show and start watching stuff that you wouldn't usually watch and things like that. But you know, the haunted one, the most haunted locations, that was pretty. I think that was about 3 or 4 episodes ago, and it was a good one. There was a couple of bits that I think we came across that were really stellar stuff that needs to be looked into a little bit more. I think the one that got the most reaction was, can you guess which one got the most reaction from that show in terms of comments?
Comments?
Nope.
Was it the one that the last one was the castle?
Yeah, Promroy Castle.
Yeah.
That's got the most sort of people talking in the comments about how impressed they were with that footage and how somebody needs to study that more.
Yeah.
And you know, they want to see more of it. So yeah, it's pretty good. Is there?
Was that the white mist? Was it?
Yeah, it was. Well, at times it almost looked like green as well. There was bits of elements where it changed color, which could lead towards the possibility that it's CGI because the color change and stuff like that. But who knows? But I think it was a really interesting piece of footage, and for myself and Monty, that's a really close location to where we are. Like, I definitely think in season 2 we might try and do some on location, go in there and film him.
That should be interesting.
Yeah. So
he's just way running out of the place scared.
So I was going to ask, just because I know that you've partaken in the G-Star Vault as well. Was there any particular G-Star Vault that you liked above the others?
That was the last one, the UFO one.
Yeah, the UFO footage from the kind of people that lived out in the neck of the woods. Yeah, that was good. Yeah, I was hoping that I'd get that reaction to it, to be honest with you, because I had that reaction when I watched the footage the first time.
Yeah, because like I don't think he faked it, and the reaction of the kids was, you're taking the piss out of us, basically. Like, so they sort of made me believe that what he got was real. So, but even the look of it was what you would expect, was what I would expect anyway.
Yeah, it was really interesting what he managed to capture, just all the separate shots, and then when they're played together and you can see how it moved as well. You know, it definitely caught my eye the first time I watched it, and I was like, my God, that is so clear. You know, because usually with a lot of UFO footage or UFO pictures, it's so grainy, or like even the material that's been released by the US government as part of all that disclosure, it's very hard to see any detail in it. You're looking at it
blurry or so quick.
Yeah, for like night vision goggles or something, you know.
I don't think it was fake.
Whereas this was so clear, and all the stuff around it, I didn't talk about it in the episode, I should have. Sorry, but you're saying that you don't think the footage that was on G-Star Vault is faked?
No, I don't think it's fake.
No. But like just the exposure on the house and how clear the night sky was, it was
that
obviously
yeah. Really good camera, so
harder to fake as well.
Like you could even see the different color lights too.
Yeah, I really wish I thought to bring that to the episode, because it was you know, so clear, the rest of the photo, that any faking or doing Photoshop on top of it would probably have shown up even worse because of the quality of the images. So yeah, it was definitely an interesting one. Okay, so the reason why we're doing this finale, because as I said earlier, we're not even a year old, but we're taking a bit of a break, and then we're going to be coming back with season 2.
Yeah.
Is there a split question here? Is there any subject that you'd like us to go back to in season 2, or be sure that we go back to? And is there any?
Before you answer that, how could I have not known you were a Liverpool fan? Didn't know that.
Any subject that we haven't covered yet that you would like us to cover on the Monte Zone?
I believe that's a Liverpool shirt.
I actually, the missing, was that the one where all the people searching for people. I
What the
enjoyed that one.
Mickey's wearing?
It was
Yeah.
something I've never really looked into, apart from maybe what was the plane that went down, MH370 or something like that.
Yeah, the Malaysian flight.
Yeah, that's the only one I sort of heard of before, but the rest of them I hadn't any clue about, so it was interesting. Something different. Wouldn't have a clue. Leprechauns.
Well, I can let you on in a little secret, which everybody now is going to hear on the live stream, but I have got a few ideas of new things that we're going to bring to season 2. So, reincarnation, because we haven't done that one yet.
Still badgering on about it.
I don't know if you've heard of
One day, G.
place
One
in
day.
America called
One day.
Skinwalker
One day.
Ranch.
TV show about it.
Yeah, so we're going to look into that a little bit.
I've got to watch that
then
show now.
Another subject
Amazon
which
Prime.
I mentioned to Monty way back that I definitely want to cover, and there's so much content, is Antarctica. There's a lot of different theories about things that have gone on in the past, over the last 100 years in Antarctica, and still things that are going on
Perry
there
Reese
now.
map.
So it'll be really interesting
Is
to
it the Perry
cover
Reese
that
map?
subject. But then we'll go back to
there's
some,
loads of stuff.
We'll go back to some
Literally,
usual favourites.
Antarctica
like
could
core
fill
things
2
like
shows.
UFOs and probably ghosts again. But yeah, thank you for joining me this evening for this interview and being
No
part
problem.
of the live stream, even though you've got commitments on Friday and can't make it. But you'll
No,
have to catch it
terrible.
on the pre-record. But yeah, and thank you for all your support of the show and of the channel. It's been amazing, my friend. And yeah, just can't hope we can keep bringing good content and helping you learn about some new stuff.
I'm sure you will.
Yeah, bring it big in season 2.
That's it.
Cheers for joining me, Mickey. Thanks.
Thanks very much.
No worried, I'm too preachy. I just get all nerdy enthusiastic. That's all.
That's what I said to somebody. I said, I hope it doesn't sound like we're preaching at you and stuff. But no, I don't think that's what people are saying. They're saying that they're coming along, and they've either got a mild interest in the subject matter, or they don't know anything about it at all, and yet they're learning something, and they're going away feeling like as if they've got a piece of new information. And to have Dan and Ben join us on the show, who are pretty expert on the sort of subject of Bigfoot and Sasquatch and stuff like that, for them to join us, and we presented information that they were even like, God, didn't realize that, didn't look at it that way. Just, Ben's description was like you took us down rabbit holes, and so that's
well, you
really.
did. I just listened.
Well, it all helps, but it's teamwork, man. It's teamwork, Monty.
makes the dream work.
Yeah. But it's really nice and really heartwarming what people have been saying.
Yeah.
We've still got one more interview to come from Dan.
I only say that,
Dan,
Mickey, because Liverpool's my team as well. So, yeah. Well, my Premiership team. So, yeah, there you go. Knew there was a reason you liked my channel. Yeah. Yes, thank you for your lovely words there, Mickey. And I'm glad you're enjoying the videos and the content. So that's good.
That's what they call it, content.
Thank you for taking the time out to do that. And he's also getting better at me with the sniper rifle or the railgun. So, it's...
Well, that's always a plus, isn't it?
Yeah. Put me to shame, he is, in Fortnite. Put me to shame. Do you know, G, it's completely off topic. It's completely off topic. But everybody needs to know this. Last night on Fortnite, on our live stream, we got 7 victory royales in 8 games.
Is that? I'm sensing that's quite an impressive achievement.
That's bloody good. We spent most of the evening. We spent most of the evening winning our games. Every game that we were in, we won.
Super well done, Fortniters.
Yeah, we're becoming professional Fortnite YouTubers, I tell you.
Very good.
We even cross-streamed. We were on Twitch as well as YouTube. Crazy stuff.
I forgot to say something earlier when I shared the Ben interview, and that was letting everybody into a little bit of a secret, but also just to say how generous Ben was with his time. Is that I actually originally filmed that interview with Ben on Monday of this week, which was a half-an-hour interview, and then once the interview had finished and Ben had logged off the call, I discovered that there was no video file for the video that I'd just recorded, even though I'd done a test beforehand. So I completely lost it. So I had to ask Ben to come back and redo the video. And we tried to reshape it as best as we could, because the first time it was great and we did it just off the cuff. It was all right, the second attempt, but it certainly wasn't the first attempt. It was, but it was okay. I hope it came through all right. But that just goes to show that Ben came back and dedicated another half an hour to sitting down with me and doing that interview. So, very, very generous of him to do that.
It was very generous. And, yeah. That's what happens when you're left on your own to manage
I did a
technology.
test beforehand. It worked. It was all fine. And then I just did it again. Yeah. But I found a workaround, because then the interviews with Dan M and Mickey went okay.
Cool. Yeah, it was still a good interview, even if you had to do it twice.
Yeah, well done, Mickey. You did well.
So last up, we got Dan M.
Yeah, do you want to watch his interview now?
Yeah, go on then.
Okay. Just to mention, whilst I'm loading this up, we were talking about, hopefully...
Well, actually, go on. Yeah.
We can get Mickey on in Season 2 as a guest on the Monte Zone when we cover some content to do with haunting and ghosts, because I know that Mickey's got a real strong investment into that area of the paranormal, one through experience, one through interest. So it'd be interesting to have him come along and tell us that story and go into a little bit more depth, and we can do some on-location filming in Pomeroy Castle and in Bodmin Jail, and feature that on the episode.
Yeah, that'd be great. Actually, before you go into Dan M's interview, should we do another Vaults?
Vault? Yeah, we can do. Just trying to think of one that I edited down. This episode is all about a body of water, and the studios got carried away and got covered in water. While I try and get rid of all this water, you guys check out
the acting. I can see why you did drama at school. That's the better intro.
Yeah. So I'm going to do a bit of a fast forward on this one again.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll get into...
I love the filter you use on the camera for the Vaults as well.
Yeah, unfortunately I can't use that same filter anymore because I'm using different software now and a different device.
You can still put a filter on it, can't you? And edit in post. Spaceship. That looks computer generated.
It is computer generated.
Oh.
It's just an example of what the shape of the...
I was like,
it's a more...
Oh, it's good, this Prosecco.
Glad you enjoyed it. Has Smiler had a look in?
No. I think she has some white wine out there, though.
So I think there's some narration.
Hey. So what are we looking at then?
I said I think there's some narration.
All right.
So this is the Baltic Sea anomaly.
There's Baltic Sea what?
This is a computer represent.
Now, there is skepticism by
Anomaly.
some official sources that Lindbergh's sonar pictures can't be trusted due to the cheap sonar equipment that they used, and that has made the images appear that are not there. However, like many counterclaims of paranormal evidence, this counterclaim also has no evidence to back it up and really is just a hypothesis. There are other claims and articles you can find online that state that the Baltic Sea anomaly has been solved. Again, however, if you read these closely, like one example from Faulkner Bruckert, an associate professor of geology at the Stockholm University, he was given samples of the rock from the anomaly, and as well as finding many different materials like granite, sandstone, he also found traces of black volcanic rock. This has led to his hypothesis that the rocks were transported there by glaciers thousands of years ago. However, although many articles that include Faulkner's finding claim this means mystery solved, again, Faulkner's conclusions are just hypotheses and don't have any substantial evidence to back up his claims. These hypotheses have led to the theory that the anomaly is actually a monolithic structure and potentially 140,000 years old.
It's the object that's at the bottom of the Baltic Sea that looks like the sonar images, and it looks like the Millennium Falcon.
Sonar images were shared on a return expedition. They claimed to find another object or structure just 200 meters from the original site. They submitted a sonar image for this object, but it was later found to be just another version of the first sonar image. When challenged about this, Lindbergh said because the sonar image for the second object came out clear enough, someone just accidentally used the wrong image.
It does look like the Millennium Falcon.
Now, one thing that believers in this object and scientists agree on is that to the side of the object there is what appears to be
How
stairs,
accurate is this computer rendering then?
They actually have a hole where it looks like
It's hard to say really, because nobody's really, other than the initial team, because of the conditions in the Baltic and just how cold it is.
Whether they're naturally forming or they've been engineered by someone, that is the big question.
So let me know what you guys think of this one. Put your thoughts in comments.
So that was another one that sort of got more reaction from people that wanted to see it go into the vault and discuss it more.
Thing is, we need more scientific analysis from professionals, don't we? From separate independent teams of geologists, or certainly it needs more work on it.
Yes, and just to explain why some of that hasn't happened and it may do in the future, which I guess is a bit of an update on the subject, and that's because it was only discovered not that long ago, but it's complicated in the Baltic Sea for them to do that work because they have submersibles and machines that can easily go down to those depths and easily in those temperatures. But on top of those two difficult variables, there's also the fact that the visibility in the Baltic Sea is really, really bad. It's something to do with the seabed and also how rough the sea is constantly. So visibility isn't great. So not only do they need dense submersibles that can meet the temperature, they also need like camera and footage equipment that can, and there isn't anything that can get through that kind of silt. That all they can do is use radar images, which is effectively what they did. So I think with things like the pandemic coming into play, funding is always very challenging at the moment, especially for even pure science or pure archaeology. That is, one of the things where the purse strings have been tied up on that in terms of funding. So I'm sure somewhere down the line it will get that element of scientific investigation, but there is already some that's gone on, and some of the scientists, excuse me, sorry, don't necessarily feel that it's anything supernatural in origin or extraterrestrial in origin, but they do think that there's elements of it that's unexplainable. So like, for example, I was talking about that scientist that took that rock sample. and within it he found volcanic stone.
Hmm.
And in that area of the world, there's not been volcanoes or active volcanoes for like hundreds of thousands of years. So how did that volcanic stone get into that rock? And that's where certain scientists have created a hypothesis that it was ice, glacier ice, that moved land and moved it in that way. But yeah, there's lots of different theories that even feed into the sort of scientific and archaeological way of looking at it. But yeah, very interesting, and not one that I knew a lot about before I started thinking. Came across it and I was like, oh yeah, I remember seeing that in the paper, but I didn't really pay attention to it. And yeah, it was interesting going back and finding out a little bit more about it.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's in there. It's in the vault. So I'll pull it out again if there's any updates or any of those scientists to get down there and poke and prod about a little bit more. I'll bring it out of the vault and we can discuss it again more.
Mickey's thinking spaceship or a long dormant creature. I'm on the spaceship side. It's the Millennium Falcon.
Well,
it's a big rock, isn't it? But is it man-made? Is it 100,000-year-old monolithic structure, or is it deposited there by a glacier?
Yeah, just in case I'm not explaining myself well enough, there is a particular theory, and it's one that I probably lend more to, and that it's another example of a structure or a building that's from a civilization that we don't know, or we yet don't kind of put into the evolution of the planet. And it's one of the things where it shows that there's been other civilizations on this planet.
Well, they've certainly found
advanced.
A lot of not maybe advanced, but like villages and Iron Age structures on Dogger Bank in the North Sea. They found flint tools.
I see
all sorts of things like that.
I see Mickey also chimed in with a fluke of nature. However, as I said, Mickey, the one thing to point out is that both scientists and those that think it's like from the UFO community both agree that there's steps on the side of the structure. And what's exciting is that those steps might possibly lead into somewhere. There's like a hole as well right next to these steps. So there's a chance that it may lead to something inside or underneath. But what they do agree on is that these steps exist. It would be very difficult for the steps to be made by nature.
There's also a structure off the coast of Japan that was believed to be a castle or a fort that's under the sea, and it's massive rock formation, and that has a lot of steps over it, or what look like steps, to what look like pools and things, and to holes. But they think it's purely geological. Sometimes geological processes can throw up geometric shapes and angles. If you think about the Giant's Causeway in Mickey's area of the world, sometimes nature can produce these weird things, and it can have that kind of So it's difficult to know without proper analysis.
True that. And last comment from Mickey was it needs more inspection, and that's why I think it ended up in the vault.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Should we have Dan's?
Continue the celebrations.
Yes.
And the people praising what we're doing.
we like
joining
that.
Us, we pre-recorded this interview for
Dan.
the live stream
Oh
on
my
Friday.
God,
for
I
our
haven't seen
season
Dan
1
in years.
finale. I know that you couldn't make it.
Bless you, Dan.
Due to work commitments, so you'll be watching the live stream that we're streaming right this second at a later date. But thank you for joining me for this pre-recorded interview, and most of all, thank you for being a avid supporter of the show and the channel as well. It's been amazing. So yeah, thank you for coming along.
You're welcome. Very welcome.
So
Audio lag.
Let's talk about season 1 and if there was anything. What is it that you like about the Monte Show? Monte Zone. I should let you know that we did have connection issues throughout this interview and call,
Right.
and so I had to splice it into 2 bits.
Okay.
What is it that we're doing right thus far?
Well, I started watching it to support you. Obviously, we've been good friends for the best part of 40 years now, and I know Monty really well as well. So originally, I tuned in support of you guys, but as the weeks have progressed, I actually learned something. And typically in subjects that I'm not necessarily interested in, but that I am interested in enough to spend a couple of hours of my week to watch you guys do incredibly informative, and you obviously do your homework when you before you broadcast the show, the great guests that you have on, and just as the weeks have gone on, I found myself I've learned things, certain subjects that I might not have previously been interested in, but
You're not
now
wearing
I am.
a headset, G.
And obviously other topics that you've done,
Yeah, I know.
favourites that I did have an interest in previously, and again I've learned from it.
Yeah, that's good because I'm a bit the same. It's the same journey for me, really, because like you say, for quite a few of the shows, got to do quite a bit of research beforehand, and some of the topics that we've covered, of course, they sit within my, if you want to call it, genre of interest. So like things like UFOs and Bigfoot, but then there's other subjects like Mars and all the stuff that NASA's doing, and I'm not really, I've not looked into ghosts hugely.
the
in the
feedback's
past
'cause
and things
G's
like
not
that. So
wearing a
yeah, you've got to
headset.
do your research beforehand.
Bad G.
Funny enough, I was
Sorry?
talking to somebody yesterday about sometimes that research is quite rushed, and it's done Thursday before.
Just saying, we're getting a bit of echo off Dan in the interview because you're not wearing your headset, so it's.
Oh yeah, I heard you. Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I made that mistake.
Yeah, I'd say it's unprofessional business.
The live show, and there was one particular show, we might talk about it later, where I featured something where I just grabbed it the day before and ripped it off of YouTube and shared it on the live stream.
Yeah,
and at the
Smiley
time,
was
I
talking
didn't
about a
realise
different
that
kind
it
of
was
feedback.
such a good piece of footage, you know. I found that out after the live stream, but it was a nice surprise. But that was a good example of how sometimes, you know, the research is a bit rushed. Not all the time. Sometimes I do my homework. But yeah. So of season 1 so far, we've done the live stream that we're doing tonight is going to be the 14th episode. So of the 13 episodes, is there a particular one that stood out to you that you really enjoyed?
Well, they've all been really interesting, but I think the one for me was the Bigfoot episode. It's always been something that I've been interested in. Always been a bit skeptical of it, but it's been something that I always wished would be true. And I think, you know, you had 2 great guests on that night with Dan and Ben, both incredibly informative as well. And obviously discussing throughout the show all the sightings in America and the various different states where they've been seen. But then obviously Dan went on to the subject of, if I remember rightly, I think there was a sighting in Dartmoor Prison, which is incredibly close to home, where you know you and I are from. And that was a fascinating insight as well. So definitely learned something from it.
Again, I was talking to somebody about that the other day, and when we get into season 2, like I've done a bit of a taster and a flavour of it on G Star Vault with doing some location footage, and but our aim and our objective in season 2, especially as more and more restrictions are lifted now, we want to do some like on location filming for some of the live streams. So one of the things that we probably definitely want to do is go to that site that Dan was pointing out and actually just go and stand there and just film us just being stood there so that we can relate to where it was and what kind of, and set the tone for it. But so it's funny that you point that out because somebody else has already pointed that out to me this week, that particular point within the episode. I mean, the thing about the Bigfoot is, right, I've been interested, like yourself, like you just said, that you've kind of always been interested in it, but a little bit skeptical of it. I've been the kind of same for years, and then about 3 months before we started even filming and doing the Monte Zone, I started looking into it in a little bit more detail, going along the lines of some biology to it, and where it could be a species that we think is extinct, and all along all these more scientific avenues. And it was really, really interesting. It opened a lot of credibility to the possibility that there is something going on, and I still do believe that there's something happening.
Do you need a top up, Monty?
Hello?
You still there, Monty?
Yeah, you right?
Hello? Do you need a top up?
No, why?
Smiler's asking in chat.
Oh, sorry, I didn't see
Too
chat.
many people now, and it's constant. And it's something that I've kept up to date with. Obviously featured in the G-Star Vault as well, and there's stuff coming out all the time. So watch this space on one. So thank you.
And it's been in popular culture as well for decades and decades and decades. But obviously, there's no conclusive confirmation that they exist. But some of the videos that were shared as well, they look very, very real, very, very, very real. And I think someone put it out that they potentially
This is
were
like one of my
Hollywood
streams.
edited video footage.
I thought it'd make it feel
look like it.
It feels
very,
right.
very real.
Yeah. As I was saying earlier, that there was a bit of footage that I grabbed and it was that one that was from Yosemite National Park.
Yellowstone, not Yosemite. I apologise. I said that wrong.
Yeah, it's not a great connection, but you hear me okay?
I think that's coming from. There was that bit of footage that was from Yosemite National Park. It was from,
I said it wrong again.
Smiler.
And,
do you want?
I grabbed that footage on the Thursday. We were talking about it in the live stream. Everybody found it really interesting. And then after the live stream, I found out from a suggestion from Ben to check out Thinker Thunker. It's a channel on YouTube, and this guy's analysis. And he's absolutely fantastic. I've become a big fan of his show.
Yeah, I think I watched that.
Yeah, and it was really, really good to see just how credible this piece of footage was based on the analysis that he was doing, and it was pretty sort of scientific what he was doing as well, from a videography point of view anyway. So yeah. So that was your favorite episode, the Bigfoot, Sasquatch, and the Wildmen episode. Yeah, fantastic. Okay. So we're going to be taking a bit of a break, and then we're going to be coming back with season 2. And
coming back strong.
Is there anything that we haven't covered
coming back
season
big
1 yet, or that we did cover in season 1 that you'd like to see us repeat, or that we haven't done that you'd like to see us do in season 2?
I'd definitely like to see you expand on the UFO one, because there's so much depth to that, and obviously it's getting so much publicity at the moment with the Pentagon releasing a lot of information. There's probably no doubt more to come as well. And it's one of those subjects that was taboo 30, 40 years ago. If you said you saw a UFO, so much now. And obviously with our greater involvement in going into space, that's definitely something that I'd like to see you expand on at some stage in season 2. Very interesting subject.
That's like one of our core subjects, so we'll probably definitely come back to that. As you've probably gathered, that's I do quite a bit of UFO content in the G-Star Vault, and we're discussing the G-Star Vaults tonight. Funny enough, that's one of the parts of the live stream that we're doing this evening, and that's talking about all the G-Star Vaults where viewers have asked for the content to be put into the vault. So. But yeah, UFO is definitely something that we would, as a sort of kind of core subject, we'd probably come back to anyway. And you're right, it's almost like there's something new every week that's coming out, and some disclosure of some sort. So yeah, we've got to keep on top of it. Is there anything that we haven't covered that you would like us to see us delve into?
Well, as I said before, football and penalty shootouts. or our failure with them would be a good subject to discuss, but probably not an area of expertise.
Probably not.
So no, but
We could
like
probably
the fact
assign
that tuning
some
in on
sort of
Friday night-
paranormal activity to it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we were discussing obviously the football, because one of the first things I asked him before we started filming was, I bet you were absolutely, gutted on Sunday on the final. And we were having a chat about it, and so he thought we'd bring it back up. But it would be funny to try and put some paranormal explanation to why they weren't able to get the penalties.
Well, I'm thinking like one of the things is looking into how the mind works, and quite often with a penalty, it's all in the psychology of the human brain.
Yeah.
And it's always looking at those sideways angles, and if one of our followers is interested in that, maybe we could tie that in. Yeah, definitely.
Don't know what's coming. I like that idea. And then 2 hours later, I've learned something. It's like going to school on a Friday night.
With a beer in hand.
Yeah, because we're too old to go nightclubbing anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Well, talk for yourself. Well, again, I can't thank you enough for coming along and being part of this and being part of our season finale, even though you are busy with work on Friday. So, yeah, again, thanks for all the support in season 1. Hope we can continue to educate. Been great.
Absolutely. Take care, Gary.
There you go.
Yeah, great seeing Dan. Thank you for all your lovely words. That's really good.
Yeah, Dan's been he's out of the country at the moment. That's why he can come on live. It'd been great to have him on live, and he won't even be able to re-watch this episode until Sunday. But he's done things like rushing home from the airport to try and get back for the show. He's so supportive and loyal. It's really
great.
nice.
Yeah.
So
we always love to see him on.
Glad we could feature him on our finale episode.
Mickey, you're Irish, so no, you don't need to be sad about the penalties. No.
Yeah, it's a lot to do with psychology.
Yeah. But I often think, though, wouldn't it be a bit of a healing thing is if in these competitions we fielded a Great British team rather than a English team and a Scottish team? And I don't know.
Yeah, I guess so, but that's not the way the European Cup is made up, is it? 'Cause everybody's too focused on saying we're this country, rather than saying, can't we just say we're one species?
I know, but there's all this, talk about the Welsh and the Scottish and the independence and all that sort of thing. But if we did things like had a united country team that we could get behind in these competitions, like in the Euros, then we can use the best people of all our parts of Great Britain and United Kingdom, and it would bring us all together rather than us all just slagging each other off. Anyway, that's never going to happen, but I just thought it was a nice thought. It would be a nice thought. But anyway.
Yeah. Let's not go down that rabbit hole.
No.
Yeah. So, we pretty much so that's all the interviews out of the way. Not out of the way.
Yeah, thank God. Got all those. Yeah.
No, you know what I mean. I have no more interviews in the bag.
Seeing them.
Yes, I did say to you that it was really. I think I can remember when we discussed this, a good 6 months before we even started doing it, and your very words that came out of your mouth was, I just want it to be like when we sit down on a drunken night and talk about all this stuff and try and put the world to rights and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. And that was the original premise. But what's really lovely is finding out that people are taking really, great information from it and feeling like they're getting educated on a subject matter that's not usually within their realm. And I just think that's really, really nice that we're doing that, and people are engaging with that.
And I think it's really nice that we learn a lot ourselves for doing it as well, you know, because we've got to look into these things, and it exercises those parts of the brain, you know, that to research this stuff and try to hold all that information in your brain to retell it in an interesting way in a live stream kind of helps me exercise parts of my brain and thinking in a certain way that otherwise I wouldn't have had to do. So I think I get a lot from it as well. And it's certainly helped me over lockdown and meeting new people like Dan and Mickey and Ben and chatting to chat. And it's certainly helped my my mental focus through the challenging past year, you know.
Yeah, and it allowed us to feel like we were hanging out more regularly, even though we were locked down and actually couldn't see each other. So it was a great way of almost feeling social without actually being able to achieve it. So lots of positive things come from it. But when you get to the point that you've got guests that are joining the show that come from quite more experienced, and, you know, like Ben's he's not far off of 10,000 subscribers, and, you know, so he's been going at it for quite a while, and he's covered a lot of content and stuff. And when you've got them coming on the show, and yet we've only just started off less than a year, and we're presenting information and you know, ideas and thoughts that they haven't even considered, and weren't aware of, you know. So yeah, it's really, really good so far.
Yeah, and so I think we're starting off season 2 now. When we come off the stream tonight, and, you know, we go on our summer holidays, and we start back for season 2. I think we're, you know, where we started at the bottom, we're starting up here now, and hopefully we'll be going up to even bigger and more interesting things. I'm hoping to get a lot more out and about videos done, you know, where we're like actually like roving reporters, you know, and can put some of that in our videos.
Just even to go to the locations that we talked about, because we've got stuff that we've covered already where we can go and visit. We can go and visit that spot that Dan was talking about outside Dartmoor Prison, where that guy said that he saw from the prison, he saw what looked like a wildman. We can go to that location because on the show you brought up that location on Google Maps, so we should be able to find it. We can go to Pomeroy Castle. We can go to Bodmin Jail. And there's lots of different places that we can get out and just, even if it's just to do a little bit of filming to set the tone for like some storytelling when we come back, because you like the storytelling. So you
love telling a story.
Tell a story live along to footage that we filmed on location.
Yeah.
There are a couple of other things that we're going to bring to season 2, just to let a little bit of secrets out of the bag. It's not something that we've done yet, so it may go completely wrong. It may not work for us, but as we go into season 2, we're going to dual live stream. So we'll be live streaming on YouTube, and we're going to try and live stream at the same time on Facebook, and have more time with our Facebook page. With that one, especially whilst we're on our 4-week holiday, what we really want is, you know, everybody surfs the web, surfs YouTube. If you come across some strange content, something paranormal, something weird, drop it on the Facebook feed, because anybody can post on there, and you can say, guys, look at this one, and we might cover it on a show, and if we do, we'll give you a big mention and a shout out on the show. So there's a real advantage, and it helps us with content as well and things to look at. So please share it on the Facebook page. But that's just one thing that's coming up, and you mentioned that you're going to have a tweak of the opening titles as well.
Oh yes.
By that time, we may have all new cameras, and I want a camera there and a camera there. I'm joking.
I definitely need a new camera, because I think my camera's starting to make me look green for some reason. I don't know why. But there you go.
Yeah.
There we go.
So we didn't get through all the G-Star vaults, but do you know what? We can come back and look at some of them because, as I said at the beginning of the show, there was 6, and I wasn't going to cover 6 tonight because that would be about an hour and a half's worth of footage.
Yeah.
So we've gone through, I think, 2 or 3 this evening.
Yeah, I think we've got
so
through
we'll
2.
do another.
We went through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll do another Vault episode on the Monte Zone somewhere in season 2 and come back and discuss them, or I might do like a special Vault show where I talk about stuff that's in the Vault rather than something new. But I will be, as I mentioned, trying to upload at the beginning of next week a new Bigfoot G-Star Vault. So again, check that out.
Yeah.
Do you think we've covered enough this evening?
I think we have. I think
it's been quite nostalgic, isn't it?
Yeah, we're approaching the 3-hour mark for a live stream, which I think is probably the longest we've ever gone. But yeah, definitely. I think it's been nostalgic for me. It's been nice to hear those nice words. I can't believe I've actually taught someone something. That's new. Thanks for your nice words, Mickey, in chat there. You're lovely people. Yeah.
Thanks, Mickey.
Yeah, and just
thanks
really,
to everybody who came along tonight as well. There's loads of guys. I know people have had to. It's a Friday night after all.
Yeah.
You know, people need to come in and out. They're socialising, celebrating. But thank you to anybody that joined us and came along and
we had 11 or 12 viewers at one point, which was
it was nice.
A recent record, which is nice. But yeah, enjoy your summer holidays, everyone out there. Hope you have a nice next few weeks, or 4 weeks. I think we'll be back.
It's going to be hot this weekend.
It's going to be a hot one. And we got the British Grand Prix, which, is good for me. Yeah.
I certainly not going anywhere because I'm stuck in isolation. I haven't mentioned that yet, but yeah.
Gosh. Oh, that sucks. At least you got a hot tub.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I will dry my sorrows and fill up the hot tub with my tears.
Yeah, and Anna Banana's just now popped in at the end and said her favourite word, swag. Everything's everything's swag at the moment.
You know your Uncle G has swag.
Yeah,
he's swagging it.
Everything's swag at the moment. It's her favourite word. Yeah. But yeah, have a great break. Have good barbecues and all that. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Formula 1.
Before we sign off, I just want to say, well done, Monty.
Well done, G.
Done a fantastic job this season. And this was your original concept and idea. And I'm glad we did it.
Well, it's my concept and idea. I'm the ideas man, but you put most of the content together. So congratulations, you. Yeah, you're the researcher for the most part, and put the hard grunt work in. So thank you to you for making it great content. So, yeah. And thank you to all our guests. Yeah. Hey, yeah.
Live and pre-recorded.
Yes. And here's to hopefully great things in the future.
Yeah, and keep sharing the channel, please, with your friends and stuff. We need to get up. We need to break that 100 milestone. So, and we'll keep you apprised of where we're going to split out the channels.
If we do. I noticed actually we went down to about 85 subscribers. We've gone back up to 88, so we have gained a few subscribers in the past week. So that was good to see. But yeah, if we can get some more going on this channel, that would be great. Sharing is caring, says Anna Banana, and that is true.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's the word of the wise.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, thank you everyone for joining us tonight. And we will see you in around 4 weeks' time on season 2 of the Monte Zone. Cheers.
I'll end as I started off. Yo, YouTubers.
And we're going to end with the Monte Zone intro just to play us out.
Nice.
Access to the Monte Zone. will be granted shortly. Please stand by.